here. Oh man, it's not to it. Oh damn you. Everything but the walls. Walls. There we go. Oh, man, this pressure's taking its time today. Anyway, let me open this. Maybe this is what's the problem. Extreme performance. There we go. Okay, recap. So, you guys have just taken a huge haul. A terror from the far realms. A dreadnought of just aberrant destruction. You guys have found yourselves the victor in a battle against whatever the fuck it's called, the cosmic horror. And as you've come back with quite a payout, you have reaped the spoils of that there payout. So a number of things happen. First of which, perhaps most significant to the world at large, is that Ed develops the first 4-shot ammo cartridge for a ballista, and revolutionizes warfare forever. The introduction of cartridge warfare is terrifying. Kaplan purchased a rundown guild hall, which he intends to perhaps renovate into some kind of comedy club here in the distant future, not too distant future. Apoxy, through various investigations, allowing tinkerers to sort of play with her gadgets and gizmos, learned that she may just have been produced in Evermeet. It's entirely possible, or at least her creator is related to Evermeet in some way. Zalace escaped a number of failed heists, and learned of Apoxy's creator, this sort of gnomish fellow who vanished off the books a couple years ago during the war. An R&D weapons development gnome who disappeared about 5 years ago during the War of Revenge, aka the Second Unhuman War. Last but not least, Bisan reached out to researched Sha'sa Khoul, a faction of Gith that are neutral and trying to unify the Gith people instead of just the Zerai and the Yankee. They're trying to bring them together. Also met a rather strange cleric of Ogma at the Font of Knowledge in Waterdeep, an illithid by the name of Sangalore. After sort of, learning to somewhat trust one another and understand one another, Sangalore asked for some trust and was willing to bring Bisan down into the Undercity to meet someone. So Bisan, if you're there, we'll deal with that first and foremost.
I am. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Essentially what happens is that there's not going to be much travel. He is going to reach out a slimy, illithid hand towards you, and he'll say, in your mind, we actually won't say anything, he'll just offer you a slimy, illithid hand.
Is this something I'm supposed to reach out with mentally, or do I, grab his paw? I don't want to be rude here.
What do you do? I guess that's the question. What do you do?
If he's offering me a hand, I'll reach out.
He takes your hand, you grasp an illithid in friendship, or not necessarily friendship, but in trust, or respect enough to a handshake. And with that, you feel your body fold into itself. Unpainfully, psionically, you feel yourself immersed in the astral powers of the world, completely and entirely for about a split second, half of a split second. And you emerge somewhere quite dark. You don't know where exactly. It looks almost like a sewer system, perhaps. It is dark. There's a couple of scant torches here and there throughout the sewer system. But it's not, I say it's a sewer, but it's not. It's got that sort of subterranean construction, but there's no like horrible smell or running water. It's a dungeon of some sort. And he will take a torch off the wall and hand it to you, and then proceed down the rock hallways.
I will follow. Do I need the torch?
Do you have dark vision? As a
I
good
do.
thing? Oh, I thought they didn't for some reason. Never mind, it doesn't give you the torch. Flips you off instead. I'm just kidding. No, you guys will make your way through this strange interior. And you will walk for not terribly long, maybe like 5 minutes, in general quiet. At a certain point, he is going. Actually, no. I forget that he's psychic. No, that's all. You guys just wander down the hallways, and as you do so, you enter into a much more lit room, candles and torches. There is a number of tables with I don't know how to this. I guess you could say pages left on it. They're folded over, but there is Gith script across them. And inside, you see 4 Gith. You see, all of them in the traditional braids with the like iron clasp throughout the braids and whatnot. One's a man, 2 are women, and those would kind of stand around. You're not sure about their affiliation. They're not dressed in traditional Githyanki, like there's none of those sort of red orbs on plates. But they're not dressed traditionally as Githzerai either. There's not those sort of like long, flowing, monkly robes that give that sort of dexterity. They're just kind of they're maybe a little closer to Zerai. They do have sort of like almost like long overcoats. Still alien, but a little bit more modern down here. But standing amongst them, perhaps much more interestingly, you see another Gith, the final Gith. This one is bald up here. He has long, flowing white hair down the sides here, and then like one down the center of the chin. A very old man with like big, long, bushy eyebrows. He has pearl earrings, like big fucking pearls. He also has this guy's a little different in his dress. He has those like sort of long flowing robes, but he has like leather bracers, and he also has some like studded leather shoulder pauldrons with like, I don't know, like a little ornamented chain down the side. It's really, you're having a hard time gauging the affiliations of these Gith in this moment. But you enter within, and yeah.
I would like to make a perception check for that U symbol.
Sure, go for it.
There was that particular symbol.
Give a perception check.
It's not great. It's gonna be like a 13, I think. Yeah, 13.
You don't see any U's. But you do see, under those sort of like long robes that everybody wears, the sort of overcoaty brown leathery robes that they all wear, you catch a sun sword here and there. Underneath the robe. Very, very when Qui-Gon Jinn lifts his poncho and it's just kind of there, just like, you kind of catch like, it just moves a little to the right, and you catch one here, catch one there. You enter within, you kind of like look around, and there's this sort of silence. You see the other Gith are looking at you. Not the old man, the other ones are all sort of like looking at you with interest, quietly. You've been a part of the psionic community long enough to know that there's probably a psychic communication going on here you're not a part of. Until eventually the older gentleman speaks, and he's speaking in Gith, to be clear. Um, or no, you wouldn't be so rude as to speak in
Out
Gith.
loud?
Um, yes, he's going to speak out loud. He speaks. He'll speak in common. Actually, he's not. He's not so rude. Yeah, well, he speaks. No. He'll speak in Gith. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure myself out here because all the languages. But yes, he will speak in Gith. He will speak out loud. And he says, "What brings you here to the Undermountain, young Sarai?"
It's been 6 years since anyone has called her that. I'm looking for answers.
What answers do you seek?
She's gonna take the armor and the sun sword out that she found.
You take them out. No, joking. And immediately all the other sort of younger Gith sort of there's a startling immediate recognition, and they all kind of like look amongst themselves. It's impossible to hide. The older man sort of keeps his cool a little bit more, but they all look at it with shock and surprise. Um, uh, indeed. Sorry, just a moment. They do. You do hear them mutter the word Tron or name Tron here and there.
Yes. I believe this was his armor.
He goes, "Believe it's his armor? You are almost certainly right. I'd recognize it anywhere, my old friend." Tell me, where did he? Sorry.
I found it in a Yeti cave.
Huh. A Yeti. I wouldn't expect so little from Tron. A Yeti token. Perhaps not. Perhaps a scavenger. I'll reach out. Yes. But you have brought us a great boon, young one. I expect you know who we are.
I know who I'm looking for. I don't know who you are.
Ah. Too afraid to make assumptions. Wise, but not entirely necessary. The Sha'sa Khoul you have found.
I've been looking for you.
I am Master Yulaka Zerth. Oh yeah.
Above
Oh,
the
yeah,
table,
baby.
could you type that out?
Oh yeah.
Please.
You got it.
Thank you.
By the way, you would know that. So basically, the formation of the name here is like, Master's pretty self-explanatory. Your Laka is his name. Zerth, however, is a Gith Zerai term. Make me a history check if you want to see if you can remember what a Zerth is.
I think this is going to be a 17.
17, okay.
I think. Let me check. You said history? Yes, 17.
Yeah. The Zerth are, if I'm not mistaken, they are the most potent psionics amongst the Gith, even possibly amongst the Yankee AEs, right? I believe they're below Archons, because I know there are Gith Zerai Archons, but the Zerai are basically like masters of psionics. They are incredibly attuned with the astral plane and its power. They're monks of tremendous psionic capability. And you are?
I am Bisan Isandro.
So, you seek answers. Answers about Tron?
About the armor, and I think we're taught things that are not universally accurate.
Hmm. Such as?
Such as maybe the Githyanki and Githzerai are not natural enemies that are supposed to destroy each other on sight, that maybe it is not a huge sin to work together.
Hmm. Very dangerous thinking. Very outside the usual stratagem of thinking.
Why I have not returned to Limbo.
Ah. Hmm. So, is it I bearing the armor of our Commander Tron, seeking wisdom about unification, and has found the Sha'sa Khoul? I assume you know us by now.
Indeed.
Hmm. So, what answers, I wonder, do you seek?
What are you looking towards?
Towards?
Do you have an overarching goal other than general unification because it would be a nice idea?
Is that so bad?
No,
Is that not a worthy goal unto itself?
certainly.
Hmm. Because Yankee are a threat to all spacers. They are pirates and marauders. Did you know that get Yankee warriors? Some of them are the finest artists in all of the astral plane. But they've been bred into a warrior society. And so all they thirst for is blood. If you were ever to go to Tunarak, you'd be surprised at what you find there. Half-finished sculptures of magnificent skill. You see, the astral plane, as I'm sure you know, makes you immortal. Imagine what kind of artist you could be if you were immortal, had all the time in the world. Even if you didn't intend to be the best, how hard would it be after centuries? Isn't that a shame?
So then why? Why
Hmm.
the constant urge to fight with everything? Or the urge to isolate from everything? Both seem extreme.
Hmm. Both are extreme, and born of extreme circumstances. But if you want the answer to those questions, perhaps you are asking the wrong people. I think, perhaps, you have brought us a great gift, and I would offer you something in exchange. Allow us to keep the armor, and the armor we will give to where it belongs, the resting place of Tron. We will cover his remains, for he was a great being and a great unifier of our people. And in return, I will answer for you one question a day, until we meet again, or you have all the answers you seek.
Above the table. She has to leave tomorrow, doesn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So then my first question is this. How do I contact you once I leave?
He will remove one of his pearl earrings, and he will. Uh, Actually, what am I talking about? He just sort of giggles, and the earring just sort of unpierces itself, and just sort of flutters across the room, right towards you. Just keep that. Wear it if you want, sure. Might need some cleaning. But, it works as a foci for me, and I will be able to find you wherever you go, so long as you welcome it.
I think that was my question.
That was. But by your bearing, as you seem to me now you won't say this, but you have a ship to catch, don't you?
Kind of jumps at that. I do.
And then you best get on your way. But our good friend here has been so very kind, and he will look at at the illithid and say, perhaps I would caution you with the questions you ask. I will answer them only if I feel they're worthy to be answered, because knowledge learned is better than knowledge given. Seek knowledge, and perhaps try and answer some questions for yourself. If you are looking for someone to guide you morally, well, perhaps you should return to the Gitsarai.
Not what I'm looking for.
Good. Good. You came to the right place.
I'm looking for training and a place to direct it. The energy.
That'll be for you to find out. I welcome your return here sometime when it suits you best, whether it's now or in many years. But until then, it's been a pleasure getting to meet you, young Zorai, who is not perhaps quite as Zorai anymore.
And she'll simply bow and step back and...
The illithid will nod his head in respect to this elder Gith, yeah, you'll actually, I think you say, before you go, one final thing. Do you have any intentions of returning to your old masters? No. Well, if you were a Githyanki, I would perhaps say smart. They do not like diverse thinking. The Zerai, though disciplined, maybe not as difficult. Still difficult, but not violently so. The reason I say this is because if you wish to become your potential, as I feel the psionics about you, perhaps you will need your own blade at some point. Keep on the path, keep learning, and when I think you've earned your rank, once you've earned your blade, I will show you how. There are others who can show you, but if it's the path you wish to walk, the knowledge lies here, and I will help should I see your mind open. Keep Tron's blade. I expect it was meant for you if you were the one to find it. And perhaps you might prepare it one day. One day soon.
She would probably just like step forward and bow and...
Yeah. Yeah, you would see the other sort of younger Giths in the room sort of like look at your Locko with like a look of like not objection or outrage, but just like surprise or uncertainty, as if to say like, Master, are you sure? To leave Tron's blade with you. But your Locko seems to, at least for the moment, ignore them, and seems quite content to allow you to keep the hilt. With that, yeah, go ahead.
Say whenever my illithid, whenever Sangalore leads out, I will follow.
Telepathically, you'll say, "He is a tricky one. but perhaps somewhat helpful.
He was very hard to read.
Hmm. Yes, I find the same issue. But be assured, despite his oddities, I am. I believe him to be quite wise. Shall
Thank
we?
you. Yes.
Take your hand, vanish, and you'll return to Apoxy on the street, and your illicit friend nowhere in sight. But you know how to find him.
I do.
Okay. With that, you return with Apoxy back to the Rock Brawl, and downtime is officially over. You guys have had your time, and now it's time. Well, I'll say this: it's your last day on the Rock of Brawl before returning back out to Wild Space for whatever objective the captain has planned. Is there any? Is there anything any of you would like to do? Is your like final chance to kick back or do something fun at the Rock of Brawl, or are you guys just ready for action?
Okay, above the table, things like healing potions and bags of holding. Is that I have to put up 100 gold to even find it?
Yes.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah. I'm not so much asking if anyone has anything on their to-do list to do, but more like, do you want to hang out? Do you want to have a drink? Do you want to RP as the shops are closing down?
Can I
Yes,
can
shop.
I can I get a healer's kit?
Sure. Yep. Go ahead and add it to your inventory, and the gold should be listed. Go ahead and mark it off.
Yep, thank you.
Bisan will
Has it,
probably. Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, has like if I've been around, have I gotten wind that Chaplin bought real estate recently?
I think unless Chaplin has brought it up, I don't see how you would know.
Okay.
Chaplin, do you think you would have told anybody?
Probably not yet. I don't think he's necessarily run into anyone yet. He's been mostly in about town by himself, I think. All right. Just wondering.
Okay.
On the last
Let's see.
day, I think Vash
Yeah.
may actually try and look for Bisan.
Okay. We'll say that yeah, you feel or not you feel, but you see Basan and Apoxy kind of stepping off of one of the ships. I'll say mark off a gold to return back to the Rock of Brawl, Basan. But yeah, you run into Basan, sure.
I've been waiting for you to return, Bisan. I wanted to, and I then switched to speaking Gith and say, I wish to speak with you about the previous matter.
Yes, of course. And then we'll find a space that's ours and go about
Okay.
our business.
I'm also just going to go down to the lower decks where I keep Aetherith,
Sure.
and I keep the conversation in Gith because I'm aware that if for whatever reasons either, well, any of the Spelljammers may overhear it if they look in. After we slew the horror, she she spoke to me again, but it was an unexpected conversation.
I'm listening.
Both she and I thought that the horror would, if you'll excuse my pessimism, I expected that it would kill me, and so did she. And yet, I continue to live. And up until this point, she's been treating me as a toy, something to entertain her, to stave off whatever boredom she may feel. But our last conversation ended with her regarding me with greater interest.
I'm listening.
She has been the guiding hand in taking me here to the New Dawn, meeting all of you. She even bestowed me with some magical power, gave me Etherith's egg, and I'm beginning to suspect that even from the beginning, I was never just a toy. It almost, in hindsight, feels like groundwork. Like I'm being fashioned into a tool.
I can see that. Do you wish
I
to be
guess.
a tool?
Well, that's just the thing, isn't it? As you all know, I'm a soldier. Or at least I was. Taking orders is what I'm used to. It's what I'm good at. And a part of me is almost delighted that perhaps some great power thinks me worth giving orders to. But I fear what kind of orders she would give.
What do you know about her?
Almost nothing.
That seems
And
like
not
a
for
place
want
to
of
start.
trying. Those times we went to the library together, I was actually trying to research her, but she is not well known, and I don't think based on her mannerisms and the orders she's given me thus far, I don't think she's commonly worshipped, shall we say. I mean, I could tell her how she manifests in my mind, and you can perhaps see if you have any idea who or what she may be. She's manifested as a snake, as candles. The
Can I
voice is
roll?
always in like layers of, it's like three people talking at once, but it's singular.
Is there a check that I could roll to see if any of that sounds familiar? Or does just none of that sound familiar? None of it sounds familiar. Okay. So you know, I think you're muted. I'm just judging on your body language, Ryan.
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry about that. Well, let me ask you: are you proficient in religion?
I do not believe so. I'm going to check just to make sure, but no, I am not.
No, you have no idea what
Okay.
Bar's talking about.
The philosophies that they teach us are limited. It's why I'm not in limbo now.
Mm. A pity.
But I'll help you.
Can I trust you to be a... Well, I guess I have two requests. Ultimately, I'm not really in much of a position to say no either way. But if her requests align or at least acceptable within the work of the New Dawn, can I ask for your assistance?
Yes.
And if she requests of me something that goes against the New Dawn,
My loyalty is to the captain.
of course, which is why I would ask you to stop me.
As you wish. Let's see that it doesn't come to that.
Well, I can only hope. Perhaps she will grow fond of the New Dawn as a whole, but I have my doubts.
It does not sound like she is fond.
She's strange. She is hard to make sense of. Initially it seemed she was nothing but bloodthirsty, and yet now she is, dare I say, almost kind.
That sounds confusing.
Indeed.
So what right now?
Well, in the whole month that we've been left to our own devices, I haven't heard a thing, but I imagine she's been watching, and no doubt when the captain gives his next command, she will shoulder me with some additional request.
Let me know when you need my help.
I will. And thank you for not exposing my terrible secret to everyone.
And she kind of nods and grabs your arm and that sort of warriors thing, and
Damn,
You
that's
get a-
hard, man.
You get a rare, like, genuine kind of smile and nod of like respect from Vash.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was hard. Stop. That's so cool. I love that shit. Oh. Okay. Incredible. Incredible. Does anybody else have anything they want to do on the last evening on the Rock of Brawl? Your last day, your last evening of shore leave before being cramped back onto the New Dawn for who knows how many days.
Yeah. So I'd like to find Ed at some point, and just go and speak to him about making some dark vision goggles or something like that to see what he would need for that, so that I could procure the pieces that he needs, if that's possible.
So you want me to just multi-purpose? What do you want specifically with these things?
Well, I don't have any dark vision, so I have to carry a hooded lantern. So anything that would help for me to be able to see a little bit further. If there's anything else that we could add into it later on, it'd be great.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm sure I can think of something. If you want, you know, I'll keep them so you can keep adding to them as we go on. You know, with multi-purpose and whatnot, flexible. That's what my dad used to
that'd
say.
be great.
Flexible.
Just let me know what you need and how much, and I'll make sure you have it.
Yeah, right on. I'll get right to that actually, and
Thank you.
Ed'll get his Ray-Ban on.
His Ray-Bans on. You can certainly try and look for that in the morning. The shops are closed at this point in the evening. Yes. So you can start thinking of some ideas if you want about how you want to go about that. There's certainly multiple revenues. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Anyone else? Okay. You guys all just kind of go to bed. I would say that the rest of the crew is probably like out at the edge or something, like having like drinks together, or in multiple different bars. But it sounds like the crew of the New Dawn, just from like all the other members, such as the Commandant and Spelljammer and whoever else, maybe even the captain himself. They're just sort of scattered at the various bars and taverns across the Rock of Brawl, and they're deciding to have a final little powwow before setting off in the morning. Yeah, but not all of you. It sounds like you all go to bed. That's what it's like, and that's fine. You all hit the bed, and you all get your final long rest before taking off in the morning. And yeah, the ship will be setting off in the early morning, where the captain will be making his announcement about the. There's been some rumors going around the crew and around the Rock of Brawl about a very exciting new avenue of business for the New Dawn. A couple new crew members, in fact, replaced the old ones that were taken down during the attack or during the battle. And yeah, so you guys all find your way to the New Dawn. Everybody's sort of like showing up, probably except all you guys. Everyone's just got like dark circles and like looking a little beat up from a night of partying. And they all find their way on. They all load their bags into the crew quarters, and everyone sort of groggily starts getting the ship ready to go, hoisting the sails, and so on and so forth. And you see Sha'sa Khoul ride on the deck of the ship. You see the. I'll say that the New Dawn has taken on a couple of upgrades. It has installed on it now. In a moment, just double check. Yeah. I haven't fully swapped them around, but I believe the ballistas have been replaced with cannons. Yes, that is what the upgrade to the ship has. You see the Commandant looks quite pleased with himself. He probably had something to do with that. They look to be of gift make. Maybe like maybe gift dwarvish make, perhaps. Who knows? Probably more gift out here in Wild Space. He looks pretty happy with himself, and he'll show you how it works, Bisan. But you're and Zalace as well. But you guys probably already know how cannons work theoretically. But the Commandant said, he just shows you the actual measure of doing it. He's like, "Oh, you want to load the gunpowder and the cannonball," and it's the same. It works pretty much the exact same as a ballista as far as load, aim, fire. That's pretty much how it works.
Bisan is into it. She just, can we try it out?
Perhaps not while docked, but I imagine maybe the captain will be kind enough to allow us a couple eccentricities as we're setting off.
We should practice before we have to use them in combat. It's for safety.
Of course. The captain did load a little extra powder and shot just in case there's some practice required. And he's beside himself. He's so happy about this. Apparently these are special cannons because, back in the days of Port Royal, it took about 5 people to make these things work, but, D&D. Yeah, so everything's working real good. The ship looks brand spanking new. All of it's been repaired and varnished real nice. And as everybody's setting up, the captain boards the ship, and some of the crew sort of, Captain, yeah! And some of the crew, and, the captain's got a pretty high quality score right now. He's looking real good in the eyes of the crew. He's like downtime, big pay, big accomplishments. Everyone's really liking the captain right now. He's kind of like, all right. And at a certain point, he'll call the crew to the deck. He's not going to stand on the quarter deck or anything. He's going to kind of be down with all of you guys this time. He goes, all right, crew, the New Dawn. There's no one on the Rock of Bro I'd rather be sailing with than all of you. It has been quite a voyage since we set off. All those... Wait for it. All those almost 100 days ago, actually. I believe this is the 85th day since the New Dawn's first charter. We are a quite exceptional bunch, I'd say. Quite exceptional. And exceptional still. There's plenty to do and plenty to see in realm space. But I have something that might pique interest around here. And he produces from his pocket, this almost holographic-looking map. It is two-dimensional, but there's a sort of holographic about it. And he sort of spans it out on the deck, and everyone's sort of like trying to look over top of each other to get a good look at it. And he says, "Does anyone know what this is? No? That's all right. This is a astral chart that I produced here in the Rock Abroad. This should be, with the help, of course, of our fine Spelljammer, help me procure it, and came up with the idea, so please give some thanks to her. This should help us navigate the full Gistan, also known as the flow. Perhaps some of you know of the flow. Anyone can take a Arcana check if you want to know what the full Gistan is. The flow, as it is also known in simpler terms.
That's a 6.
Oh, sorry, Varsh.
15.
15,
19.
15, 17. I'll give you advantage, Varsh, because you're an orc. So,
Okay.
15, 17. Nobody else? Okay.
19 for me.
13 then.
Alright, so you three know about, you guys do know about the focus. So, the Astral Sea, as I'm sure you know, Varsh, especially, perhaps another reason why you have advantage,
Yeah.
is very difficult to navigate. Because it's just, there's no up or down or left or right or north or south. It's just space.
It's vibes.
It's just vibes. And it goes on forever. However, long ago, wild spacers found out a way to travel between the different systems, the different wild space systems, in a more, possible way. And they found the Phlogiston, which are basically these astral winds that travel between different wild space systems. Some of them only go one way, some of them go both ways, but they allow for travel between different wild space systems remarkably fast comparatively. So whereas it would probably take like months and months and months, maybe even a year or more to travel from realm space to probably anywhere else, the flow makes it possible in a matter of days. So the captain shows us, he goes, we have found and procured this astral chart, and it should allow us to travel to Grey Space, the home of the O-Earth planet, in a mere 14 days. I figured it was time we broadened our horizons. All of you deserve to have a little lesson on how to travel between wild space systems, how to get here and there. And with this astral chart, our spelljammers and our oars should be able to help us transport from realm space to Grey Space. And back again, by the way. So, we shall travel out to O-Earth, buy a little trade, make a little coin, and then when we're feeling ready, we'll return to realm space and see what lies for us here. Yes, Mr. Voidlight.
This is out. I was gonna ask, do I know anything about Grey Space or Earth or anything like that?
Maybe a history check.
Who? Not good at these. But I'm betting on my previous soldering life. 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, you know a little bit. And I'll tell you about that. So Grey Space. So you know that there are 3 wild space systems that make up it's kind of like a constellation. Or it's called a astral cluster, but it's a cluster known as the Holy Triad, and that is realm space, Grey Space, and Kryn Space, and those 3 make up the major systems in the local Astral Sea.
Got it.
Grey Space, it contains a very much like Toril is the major populated planet of realm space. Owerth is the major populated planet of gray space. It is, let's see, it's shaped very similarly to realm space. Realm space is a spherical. It has, let's see here. It has about the same number, a little bit more planets than this system, but it's a vast and well populated and fairly easy to navigate system. It's not incredibly deadly or anything like that.
Got it. And hell, I'll even use my screw it, I'll even in character raising the hand as well. And what business do we have out in gray space?
I might have a couple of old war buddies who've decided to ply their trade out there. Some of you might as well, out in the gray space system. But it was my thinking that we would travel onto Oerth, see what work we could ply it. However, there are some port of coals in the area that I also wish to seek out some things at. But one thing I know is for sure, the new dawn has taken on magnificent heights, and Oerth deserves to see those heights, I think. It had been met, Mr. Voidlight, and to all of you. Nothing particularly procured as of yet, nothing firm or mandated. But I thought the trip out there was worth it. We have some coin in our pockets to secure us if we don't find any work, and we can return as such. But I thought it would be interesting to travel between systems. Get everybody a chance to lay down some contacts and roots in another of the wild space systems.
Stretch our space legs.
Exactly, Mr. Jordan, exactly.
Woo!
Understood, Captain.
I imagine there's a lot of everything to gather out there. Being on a Spelljammer, I'm finally, all my interests have been going all over the place, so I'd love to get as much experience. So seems like a good voyage to me.
Very good. And as I've always said, I may be the captain, but we are all members of this crew. If this doesn't suit anybody here, you may go ahead and raise their hands now if you'd rather remain in realm space. But be assured, if we do go out there, I have every intention of returning to Rock of Brawl. It has been our port of call since the start of our voyage, and I don't think we should abandon it. Looks around the crew, and the crew's, again, they're pretty confident in the captain. They're like, yeah, no, and people seem interested in wanting to see how the flow works. Some people here do, some people don't. All right. Very well. We head for gray space. It should be a 14-day trip. Settle in. It's also worth noting that, though of course Mr. Voidlight, you have much more experience than the rest of us, all of you will be able to, and of course, how could I forget Bisan, you have perhaps more astral plane experience than many of us. But it'll be interesting for everyone to see how it differs from wild space, and it does differ in many, many ways. So, to your stations, everyone. Commandant, artillerists. Perhaps there might be a sort of, shall we say, presentation as we leave the port. What do you all say?
Yeah, so Bisan does not go to the mangonel. She goes to a cannon.
Yes. As I assumed. With that, the commandant's, yes, sir! And him and perhaps Soleil and Bisan and whatever artillerist, like nobody's on the Mangonel. Like Bisan and her 4 loading crew just like, one loading crew because the other 3 died. All go running to the fort deck to check out the cannons and see how they work. Con's like, oh, all right, I'm filling back up. And you guys will get a chance. So with that, the New Dawn once more lifts up, sort of lifting into the air and channeling its way forth. And as you guys get about 3/4 mile away from the port, the commandant sort of looks around the mast. The captain gives like a little nod, and the commandant says, All right. I think Zalace, you have been using the ballistas. I think it would be most important as you know how to fire off the cannon. And I already know how to fire them off. So perhaps Bisan or other major artillerists, why don't you take the second? Just don't aim for the Rock of Brawl. For the love of the gods, do not aim for the Rock of Brawl. Anywhere else. All right. Ready? They load it. Aim. Fire. And then you two. Why don't you roll me just attack rolls, just for the fun of it? Somebody roll
Natural 20.
Oh, very good.
So mine was a 15 on the dice, but I don't know what I add to the guns yet.
It's fine. Well, I'll tell you now, for the future reference if you wish. Come here, cannons. Cannons have a +6 to hit, and they do 8d10 damage, baby. When you guys fire them off, deafeningly loud. Zalace, you will never know, but some like horrific aberrant creatures floating along in space and suddenly just somewhere off in space something takes a cannonball and dies. Yep. On a nat 20. And you guys just alright. The captain says, alright, let's get us out of here before port authorities have anything to say about it. And the ship fires off. And what will transpire is quite a bit of traveling. I'm not going to go to any downtime, as you guys have just had a lot of downtime. But to get to the edge of this, it's going to be, let's see, 2 wheels, 2. It's going to take 30 days to get to the edge of wild space, and then it's going to take another 14 days to travel amongst the flow. So I'm just going to say that you guys go about, I'm going to skip over, but, you begin your voyage. This is very much an exploratory voyage where you guys will stop here and there on planets and collect some air here and there. I will say, as the first 30 days as you guys are traveling, again, we're not going to do like heavy downtime. I'm going to say that like you guys are working pretty hard, maintaining the cannons and doing proper crew work. This isn't like downtime. But is there generally anything anyone would like to do during those 30 days? Just like anything you're up to, what you're feeling, or are you just working away? Yep, go ahead, Chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, just being a general nuisance. Certainly during the first day when everybody came, well, not everybody, but multiple people came back a little hungover. I did roll my animals for that day, and I got a giant goat, a lion, and a bear. So between that and thaumaturgy, I'd like to just go around and startle everybody who looks like they're nursing a hangover.
Make a performance check. You'll have advantage because of your zoo that is helping you out.
And try to get the crew back on their toes,
Generally doing nuisance. Fair enough.
12.
12. Yeah, absolutely. You're going around and there's like a and they're like, holy fucking shit. As this like lion comes around the corner. The crew's is starting to come to expect random animals aboard the ship at times, but yeah, in their hungover state, they're like, oh fuck. So you basically get them, but they know they're yours and they're not actually in danger of a lion, and your goat just sort of like and like just screams out, and like the cannon crew's like, holy fuck, and then like a shot fires off and they're like, oh fuck, and the captain's like, not even at you, just like at them. He's like,
And on since this is more than a 30-day, we're traveling for more than 30 days straight, right?
yeah, you guys will be traveling for 44 days.
So at some point during that 30 days, it's going to be the 13th, my day of celebration. So I'd like to try and inspire some of the crew to make and listen to music and dance and whatnot. Make merry,
Yeah, make me a performance or a persuasion check, or if you have a musical instrument.
Ooh, I do not. I need to get.
Okay, so just make me a performance or persuasion check as your choice.
Oh, boo. Let's see. I'm going to. All right. I'm going to use my build for success because I didn't like my rolls.
Fair enough.
It doesn't matter. All right, 11.
11. You get some people to make merry and celebrate. You make it happen. It's not as wild or boisterous as perhaps someone of your designs might please, but it suffices. There's a little music going around. There's a couple people here who have some talent, and yeah, it's nice to see.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, exactly. Um, okay, so you're just kind of trying to inspire the crew, doing a little repair here, and here and there. Very, very good. Um, I'll say at a certain point, Chaplin. Well, that goes for all of you. While you're traveling across realm space and things are pretty like, we're just traveling and eating. Other than, just, keeping busy and working and improving your skills as various sailors, various ranks of sailors, you get to noticing, well, at a certain point while you're traveling across realm space, it'll mark the 100 standard days since the New Dawn had left port. And the captain, pulls out some, fancy wine for the crew, and everyone sort of, they pour out some bottles, have some drinks, maybe Chaplin, you inspire a little music there, and you guys, while the ship continues to fly, everyone sort of takes a break and has a little celebration day, has some drinks. You see that the guy who's been the one elf who now believes he's a great bowman, or at least thinks the crew thinks well of him despite being a bad bowman, he's got a new bow. And everyone's like, oh, check it out. You got some carbon fiber. It's all good. He's showing it off, and the commandant's like, let me sing you a gift tale. He's a little drunk. He's like, let me sing you a traditional gift. Sorry. It's just singing in hippo, basically.
I was gonna say, I assume there's a lot of moaning and gift singing.
Yeah, a lot of yawning, as a hippo person, yeah, you guys generally just have a good time and you hang out. Some of the elves are maybe high elves, so they shoot off some prestidigitation, fireworks up there, and I think your dragon Varsh isn't too pleased with the fireworks. It's just
Oh no.
It's just doesn't do anything about it, but Etherith just kind of, is a little spooked by the fireworks. It's just kind of on the side of the deck, not terribly happy. Yeah, but you guys have a nice little celebration on the 100th day, and the captain, he does a little toast. He's like, to all of you, this ship would not function. It needs its captain, it needs its oars, but by gods does it need its artillerists, its boatswains, its sailors. Everyone's important, and I think this crew's functioned better than perhaps someone even in the military I served on. And everyone sort of applauds and is happy about that. The Spelljammer is pretty, she's pretty recluse. She just kind of steers the ship, which she's largely into. Yeah. Okay, who else? Who else has got stuff to do during the 30 days across realm space? Bisan.
So there are two things that she would like to do as consistently as possible. One is continue to spar daily with the commandant, or as he is able, and starting to add in not just sword and shield, but using two swords.
Sure, absolutely.
And work some of that in. And the other is taking some time for daily meditation and reaching out and practicing her mental disciplines.
Gotcha. Yes, Mr. Boyd.
I say Vash would actually volunteer himself for this sparring with Bisan, both to teach her almost to fight him and Etherith.
Very good.
Oh yeah.
The commandant's like, oh, all right. He's like, oh yes, of course. And then he sees that you're like, okay, I feel like I lag on the left a little bit, so you'd be good to try and hit it. Like, where you're very much giving Bisan tips on how to beat you, I
How to
guess.
kill me.
And the commandant's like, oh, that's a little, maybe at some point it takes you a sidebar. She's like, I have to say, keep giving maybe an unfair advantage to your opponents. Specifically, this is about, if you're sparring, it's about your skill as well, not just, you're very giving. I just hope you're taking time to improve your own skill as well.
Well, I'm of the opinion that knowing your allies' weaknesses means that in a jam you can help to mitigate them as an ally.
Alright, you say so. And he's very passive, but he's like, this is a suggestion. But yeah, you hang out and you spar. Bisan, I think at a certain point the commandant suggests like you've got your Gith training blade, or your Gith. I forget what I called it.
It was
But
the Gith Apprentice Blade, and I have 2 of them.
the Gith apprentice blade, right? Oh, you got 2 of them. Okay, excellent. So yeah, you start training him with 2 blades, and he's like, oh, very cool. And he'll work with you. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And I will say, during these 30 days, you will be reached out to psionically by your new friend. Where every now and then it's not so much a word, but you almost like feel like your Lonka wants to join the chat, like in your brain, and you could just choose to make him not or let him in, and when he comes into your mind, you may pose a question. And again, for the sake of, it's 30 days. We're not going to sit here and do 30 questions.
No.
Maybe we'll say that it's you start off with simple stuff. Maybe we'll just say start getting to know him in simple stuff, and he'll tell you that the Sha'sa Khoul is, a little more widespread than lore would lead you to believe. I'll tell you what. I'll give you give me 3 big questions, and we'll get those out of the way. Or 3 any questions. It doesn't have to be big questions, but we'll do 3 questions, and those are maybe major ones you're curious about. If you got them on hand.
What are they looking for amongst their membership?
I think it would simply say the unification of the Gith people. There are people of all types and wants and feelings. That does not mean we are not all Gith.
The armor is a combination of Gith Zerai and Githyanki techniques. How was that put together?
I would say Tron was unique in his stylings. He was one of the few Gith that actually studied both the way of the Githyanki Knights and the Gith Zerai Archon, and felt both cultures were due respect for having built him into what he was. But the armor, be assured, is unique, even amongst the Sha'sa Khoul.
Is there a way to recognize Sha'sa Khoul out in the wild?
Say, the sunblades we carry are blue in color. The Zerai prefer yellow. The Yankee prefer red. The Illithin like their pinks and purples, but we prefer our blues. The Rise, not particularly.
Those are your questions.
Very well. And there's other little things here. Maybe you're like, oh, who was that in the room? Or blah, 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 And yeah, you ask some questions here. I'll say you've got some questions stored up. So if you're like really hampering to have something answered, maybe you call back on that time. So long as it would have made sense that you would have asked it at that time, right? Cool, fantastic, Bisan. What about the rest of you guys? What about the rest of you guys? Yes, Ed.
So, throughout like the first like 30 days, Ed'll come to Zalace like every so often and just kind of being like, "Are you sure you just want dark vision?" I was thinking of some ideas, like just like nothing concrete, but clearly wanting to go crazy with it. Until like one day he's like, "Say we need to do some testing. Would you be willing, try an eyeball just to see if it works?" I do have a lot of ideas, and I just, I like to make sure, there's a lot of consent involved, but also, a bit of a warning. It's like, I think I could do some real cool stuff with these things for you, but just want to make sure you're fine with that.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'll do whatever.
All right, all right. I'm gonna lock myself in my bunk and just kind of drift away for a little bit. Uh, and
Also put a quick note out there, Ed. Though they did bought cannons, your cartridge load, like the pyramid cartridge ballistas, are still on the ship. They're like sort of pushed up against the cargo bay walls, and they're sort of like backup weapons, basically. But for whatever reason, the captain maybe doesn't want those flashing out on the deck.
yeah, I that makes sense. That'll definitely give him a pet every day, just like
Nice.
and
Your little robot's like seems to be
Otto.
seems to be buzzing at Otto seems to be buzzing at you as to why he doesn't have a cartridge firing system yet.
That'd be too much. It'd be too much. Like you couldn't handle it. You wouldn't handle it. You would not handle it well. Maybe when you're older, I don't know how that works, but I'm open to ideas. And so what Ed's trying to do with these goggles, even though he was asked dark vision goggles, he kind of deduces as Zalace is a little bit of a sketchy little guy, and maybe he needs to
Wow.
look through locks and stuff. And Ed aims big, so like I guess I can ask you, Ryan, how big can I go with these goggles?
Well, again, this isn't downtime per se, so the actual crafting time, well, I want to give the respectable downtime, but I also just want to. You already had our downtime, so I want to kind of move the story along a little bit.
For sure.
I'll tell you what, though. Maybe we make it simple. What do you like? So so goggles of night. Those are uncommon, right? The more enchantments you throw on it, the higher the rarity is, the harder it is to make.
Okay.
And the more costly it is. So what do you want to do is the question.
I want him to give him dark vision, but also make locks easier for him. Like
okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Since like
I see.
I know like it's weird, but like what you can make certain metals look like a different sort of a shine. It's all through like the darker the better. That's what my human brain was trying to consider. Applying it to D&D logic, it's sort of just making it so he can like tone into like a dark lock, like say if he's like peeking or something like that.
So I'll tell you what. I don't think you're going to be able to make goggles that make because at the end of the day, lockpicking isn't about eyes because when someone's picking a lock, they can't see it. So it's about feeling.
Okay.
However, you can perhaps add an enchantment on top of the goggles of night that could make it easier for him to sort of lock in on like sort of smaller items, basically enhance his ability to investigate.
Okay.
But that would be considered a rare item. You wish to make these like rare goggles.
Yeah.
He also said I think there was some talk about telescopic too. So I'll tell you what. There's three maybe an Arcana check. This is D&D. I forgot. I sometimes forget to ask for rolls.
Yeah, I was
Arcana check.
I was about to say, I was like, make me roll something here.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll. Sorry.
Oh man, that's a nat 20.
Oh shit. Okay. Here is what on a nat 20 Arcana check for a total of
26.
26. Give me a second.
Be funny if Zalace robbed Ed with these guys.
You live long enough to see yourself become the enemy. All right, let's see here. So you think that there are a number of sort of I'll say you've heard of a number of goggle eyewear sort of things that you could use to make pretty sweet goggles for Zalace. So I'll give you the list of enchantments you can create to help Zalace, and you can decide which ones you want to compile. So my first question is, what rarity are we going for here? You want a very rare item, a rare item?
I would say just like well, I guess Zalace commissioned it, so Ed would go as far as to please a potential buddy. So
Well, it depends on cost, really, as to the cost of the enchantment.
yeah.
I suppose.
So a rare item is 2,000 gold pieces to make, and it's going to take 10 work weeks to make. So that's 50 days. Which is a lot of time and money.
Sure.
For sure. Uncommon, it's only 200 gold for 2 weeks.
Okay, I'll go with the uncommon start with.
All right, so if that's the case,
yeah.
Ed, you've got a number of enchantments that you're aware of that can be placed on goggles. There is basically you've heard of a magic item called the Eyes of Charming, that basically create glasses that allow you to sort of charm a person. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. There is goggles known as the Eyes of the Eagle that are telescopic, essentially. They allow you to see as if you have the eyes of a griffin. There is the Eyes of Minute Seeing that help the eyes sort of focus in on very specific portions of the environment and kind of slow things down. And that grants advantage to investigation checks that rely on sight. There is... these are wrong. Can't do that. And then there's, of course, the goggles of night, which grant dark vision. So those are the 4 types of goggles you are aware of the uncommon variety.
Alright. And I can pick one of those to add to them.
Well, you can make one of those for him.
Make one
I'll
of
say
those
with this
for him.
time,
Okay.
as long as you have the money.
Alright. I once Ed gathers all that, he's gonna relay it to Zalace and be like, no, I know you originally wanted, but you get creative, and if it helps, I can see pretty well in the dark, and I'm sure others in the crew might be able to. So, but you let me know, and I'll get these cooking.
So dark vision, investigation, perception, or charm somebody. Those are your choices.
I can afford 2 of those. So could I have the dark and the charm?
Well, you do have a dark charm to you. That's offensive. I mean that in a good way. You were the first friendly one on the crew, and that's why I want to hook it up for you here. You know what I mean? But some dark charmers, gotcha. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff about these too, and I've never worked with eyes. I usually work on weapons, so I really like this kind of stuff. We always forget that artificer can help with more than just killing stuff. That's But anyways, and we'll go to his quarters and start getting to work on that.
Imagine whenever Ed starts kind of rambling a little bit, everyone's like,
Yeah.
Okay, which one do you want to make first? Those ones will get done before you leave realm space.
Let's do the night vision one, the dark vision, since that was the first requested.
All right, the goggles of night, granting perhaps the vision of an owl. I will say, Ed, by the time you leave realm space, you will have produced the goggles of night. for the low price of 200 gold pieces.
Okay. Alrighty. And you want me to roll a Tinker's Tools for that, or?
Uh, creation of. So my thing is like, if you're spending all this money and all this time, I'm not going to make you do an Arcana check at the very end. And
Oh,
it's
okay,
all
cool.
fucked up and waste of money. So you've already done the check to see if you know what this is and how to create it, and you
All
do. And now that you've spent the time and money, you're good to go.
Yeah. I remember you saying that in another game just now. It all just came back to me.
No problem. I just
but-
like that feels like that's shitty. Like you spent all the time and money, and then it's like, oh, but you failed the check after like 3 months.
Yeah.
of trying to make this, you know?
That makes sense narratively too. All right, and so I Ed would do that first one, and Zalace would be paying that, right? The 200 or
Yeah.
what? Yeah, cool.
All right, Zalace, by the grace of Ed Jordan's mad tinkering abilities and spending all of his downtime before bed, he produces for you the goggles of night.
Maybe we can do it in Chattanooga or in Fate.
That's in Chattanooga.
Oh.
And then
I don't think that was. Yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, so I got the enchantment of night on there. I'll get the other one once we head out here. But yeah, like I said, I can I can add more to those. And
Ed, you're a genius.
heck,
Thank you very much.
no problem, man. I bring it, and he offers him a fist pump. Thank you.
Okay, so moving along, that's what Ed does. So we've done Bisan, we've done Varsh, we've done Ed. What is Zalace the Chaplain up to? Or so Chaplain, you've already told me you're sort of inspiring song, being a nuisance, pulling pranks. So what about you, Zalace? You asked Ed to do some stuff. What are you doing around the ship?
Yeah, so the other thing I wouldn't mind working on is working with Bisan to enhance my psionics. So like the psionic, the whispers and stuff like that, and how to effectively use the soul blades and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, you spent some time focusing on your psionic power and connecting with the Astral Sea. And you are able to do so at a certain point. Well, I'll tell you what. Roll me a insight check to sort of tune into your power and feel through.
So. 11.
11. You do begin to, at around the end of the 30 days, begin to sort of feel almost this web of connection. You feel that every mind is connected. That Chaplain's connected to Varsh, who's connected to you, Zalace, who's in turn connected to Chaplain, and everyone who wanders past everybody, they're all connected, and everyone, no matter how robotic or non-psionic they are, there is a little piece of the astral plane inside them. And only people like you and Bisan have the potential to awaken it so much as to tap in to those astral connections and become psionic and create telepathy. And then you yourself, so being unique, are able to physically manifest them into blades. And you begin to understand this all-encompassing connection that Bisan's primer spoke of.
Okay. So yeah, I just every night I'll just constantly do that just so that I'm using those abilities and getting used to it.
Absolutely. And around this time, we're going to call it about the end of the 30 days. You know, the Spelljammer, she's always doing her thing. There's the 100-day party. There's the ballistas down below. I don't think I missed anything else. There's a couple events at sea here and there. Nothing of particular interest. You guys pretty much just bolt on. Stop to refresh your ship's air supply, especially in Hikatha, just before you go out into... Actually, now, because once you get into the astral plane, you're good. But eventually you guys get to the deep astral, and the captain says, "All right, keep an eye out. We're about to cross into the astral plane." And he's like, "Look there, everyone." And the ship comes out of warp, and begins to move slowly towards what looks to be like a wall of silvery film, which some of you may have passed through before, some of you may not. And the ship begins to pass through it, and you feel like the air is suddenly like not there anymore. At least not the air envelope. It just sort of diminishes. But as you breathe, you feel almost like an influx of... It's difficult to describe. It's almost like magic or consciousness. You get to breathe almost like the idea of air, so to speak. And all of that sort of, purplish greens and stuff of wild space emerge into a vast kaleidoscope of just you begin to realize in this moment that all the greens and purples that you saw in wild space was but through the stained glass of the silver film of the deep astral. But now you are in it. You're in the Astral Sea, and you feel your minds, especially you, Zalace and Bisan, feel your minds deeply connect to the residual astral powers around you, and you feel limitless potential is possible here. You do not age, you do not breathe, you do not need food, you do not need to sleep. I think you need to sleep, actually. I might need to sleep on that part. But anyway, you don't age, you don't need to eat. And things just... something inspiring out here, as if you have entered into the land of imagination. And you begin to enter back into warp speed again. Varsh, you look out into the Astral Sea and see this world that you left behind, or perhaps might were made to leave behind. That you were quite content. Yeah, go ahead.
The whole kind of like going into the Astral Sea and like peering out across on the deck. Varsh is like keeping an eye out for one thing in particular. Constantly just like on guard for the possibility, no matter how like astronomically low it is, of seeing them again.
I got you.
He's just like posted up front, eyes peeled, staring.
Eyes peeled, staring. Absolutely. Make me a perception check.
Oh no.
You want it, you got it.
Hell, I'll even throw guidance on myself because this is something I care about a lot.
Fair enough.
For a solid extra 1. For a total of 5.
For a total of 5. Alright. You look around. You don't see much of anything. Nothing that catches your eyes. Your eyes is peeled. You're trying to sort of find what you're looking for, but you don't see what you're attempting to find, but you do hear it.
Oh shit.
As you put the intention forth, she does come to you. Only a whisper at the edge of your mind. Nothing visually changes for you, but almost as if her hand was on your other shoulder. You feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and her voice is whispering in your ear. And she says, "Welcome back, Mr. Voidlights. Varsh, as you return here, I expect your path is about to change forever."
Vash like turns over where he kind of feels her voice and turns it like expecting to see her.
She's not there. Just Ethereth looking at you expectantly.
Kind of saying draconic to Ethelred, be on guard.
He kind of gets down low and is ready, as you say. Okay.
And Vash goes back to his observations, hand on sword. Just like watching.
Absolutely. And as you guys travel through and you have hit the flow, and there will be some asking of you, Varsh, to help out as an oarer, to make sure you're navigating the flow quite well, but you all feel that you guys are moving quite a bit faster than even cruise speed allows. And as the astral winds carry you through this deep space. You are moving quite fast towards gray space, hopefully, as the captain has told you. Yeah, you're doing just fine out here. Let's see what happens on your first day out in the Astral Sea. Let's see if you find anything particularly interesting. Here we are. I think it's fitting if Mr. Voidlight does it. Why don't you roll me a D100?
Okay. 76.
Damn. All right, fine. Hang on. Nothing too exceptional, but you guys do find yourselves. Okay. Actually, it's a really small ordeal, but you guys are traveling through the astral winds, and this squid ship comes up behind you. It's a ship that looks pretty much exactly like a squid. I'll send you a picture in a little bit. It's supposed to come up on the rear, or actually, it's a little ahead, but it's sort of falling back as if to coincide with all of you guys. And the captain calls everyone to arms, and he sort of, he goes, "Yep, pirates. Who wants to fire a warning shot? Mr. Zalace, I saw your hand first. If you'd be so kind. Roll me an attack roll.
19.
You fire it off. I need you to roll 8d10, please. Yeah, cannons they don't fuck around with cannons.
48.
48. You blast a decent hole in the side of the other ship, and then it kind of sort of steers away from your ship as it's falling back, and just like allows you guys to head off. And the crew's like, "Yeah!" and they very much are like, "Oh, we don't want to fuck with them. They have cannons, and the pirates leave you guys alone." But so yes, very quickly you guys scare away the pirates. No problem at all. Let's see. Okay. Oh, this is pretty cool. All of you go to bed. I think Chaplain, you and Apoxy alone will see this. You see the Spelljammer go to the top deck, the fort deck, as probably leaves Yersinia in charge of the Spelljammer helm. Heads to the top of the fort, and you see this sort of magical apparition appear of a cloaked individual that looks almost see-through and has a silver cord coming out of their back which seems to disappear into the Astral Sea. And as you're just sort of like there, Stace, you kind of look over and see her sort of standing there, and then this apparition appears, and she speaks to it. But you're on like the other side of this ship. Is there anything you want to do?
No, I just checked my Sentry's Rest, and I think for role play purposes, I want to be in Sentry's Rest during this, so I'm conscious, but inert. But I mean, if that allows me, can I try and hear what's being said?
If you want to remain inert, I will say no this time. So you're conscious. Okay. You just sort of it's all very passive, I think, when you're inert. Yeah. So you pass. Well, what's your passive perception? I'll give you that at least.
14.
13. Yeah. So you see this happen. 14. So yes. So you see this happening, but unfortunately, you're passively not able to hear it from your position. And this sort of long, thin, cloaked figure just sort of appears like almost like a hologram with a silver cord up the back. They speak for a portion of time, and then it disappears, and the Spelljammer sort of returns to the quarters.
Oh, it's a hologram with a silver cord. Do I know anything about this type of vision?
Make me an Arcana check.
14.
Sorry?
14.
14. I'm afraid not. You've never heard of this kind of magic before. If it is magic, per se. Could be a ghost. Probably not, though. It looks very intentional. I'm not sure.
And the interaction seems to be, civil, cooperative.
Yeah, it seems to be a very civil conversation, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if private, as there's nobody else up there.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Day 2 rolls around. Everything goes fine. You guys go to sleep. Everything's fine. Day 3 on the astral winds. Let's see here. No, we're not getting that shit. I said no. Oh, that's cool. As you're on the astral winds on the 3rd day, you'll see just sort of fluttering by these. You pick them up at first. Who's kind of our watcher? We'll just kind of call them out. And you see about 4 of these like boxes with very, very thin, almost toothpick-like spindly arms. They're about medium size, so they're like about 5 foot tall. They have like robotic wings, sort of metal wings, but they're boxes with faces on the front, and they're just sort of fluttering through the flow, and they just kind of go by and they kind of look over at all of you. And they kind of flip you off as you like cut them off, basically. On the astral wind, these like mechanical these construct boxes just sort of just kind of get overtaken by the new dawn, and that's what happens on the 3rd day. Okay, on the 4th day, you feel the ship fall out of cruise speed as you guys are all sort of waking up, which is very odd. And Varsh, you particularly feel long hair stand up on the back of your neck, much like your patron had been speaking to when she spoke of your path changing. The captain says, in a sort of calm tone, like almost a cautionary tone, like, everyone to their stations! Everybody runs to the top deck. You all get to your stations. Bisan, it's also worth noting, I glossed over this a little bit. 2 things I glossed over, actually. The first of which, Bisan, is that these 3 elven, they look kind of mercenary, but these 3 elven women with crossbows have joined the crew. They're recruited to replace the missing Mangonel personnel, and they seem to know what they're doing. If you would have spoken to them, they would have confirmed that they were members of the Second Unhuman War under the Elven Armada, and they're just doing mercenary stuff now, so they're cool for the opportunity. And they seem to know their business. They seem to know their way around the Mangonel. The last is that the captain would have made it note that another 2 things that he procured was these 2, they're basically spacesuits for all intents and purposes. They are, where are you? There we are. They're called fish suits. They're basically almost like, the old diver suits with the huge fucking domes on? They're kind of like that. They're these bulky suits that encase the head and body, and they take a minute to don and doff. While they're worn, you can breathe in an airless environment. So they're basically wild space precautions, or they could be used for scavenging in wild space operations. So he just kind of made it known that those exist now, and that they're here.
Excellent.
Yes, that's just a side note. Anyway, in this moment, you all pull up. Bisan, you go to your mangonels, the lace to your cannon, the commandant to his cannon. You all kind of get ready. Um, Yersinia steps out onto the deck, and the captain says, "Yersinia, why have we dropped out of cruise speed?" He goes, I don't know. I was just on my way to speak to the Spelljammer. In this moment, there is a sound up in space. The captain pulls out his spyglass and kind of pulls it down. He goes, "Get us back at cruise speed. Go tell the Spelljammer immediately." Someone says, what's going on, Captain?" He goes, "There's a nautiloid out there for some reason." In this moment, there is a sound on the deck, and you see a blade sticking through Yesenia's chest. And as Yesenia falls off the end of the blade, you see the Spelljammer standing there with the blade. And she holds in her hand this strange, almost chrysalis that she cracks, and you hear. You turn around, Bisan, you see 3 mind flayers standing behind you. And that's where we're going to go to break.
Holy shit. You killed Yesenia.
I did. Feels weird.
Wait a minute.
Alright.
I just had one of those. Is this happening, moments? So that's weird.
Like, all right, well, I wasn't that all right. Right on. Okay, these are not friendly mind flayers. Got it.
Sweet.
Is there a friendly mind flayer?
I mean, there's
Are
at
you
least
sure
one.
the one you met is friendly? Are you sure? No, I think.
I mean, how sure are we of anything in this life?
That's a fair quandary. I need to repopulate the ship because for some reason everyone disappeared. So that's great.
Do, 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 do. Just assuming if you're like gathering minis and stuff, Ryan, not maybe for next week's session. If not, once I'm back home, I'll have new minis, mostly for my Eldritch Cannon whenever we use it. I've been trying to figure out how to um what to do with it because it and I because I do want to have something cool for it. I just don't have one yet, so I'll probably need a temp or whatever.
You're
Try,
muted, Ryan.
Ryan.
Thanks. Yeah, no worries, man. Whenever you got them, so I'll take them.
Trying to figure out. Won't spoil it, but I got some ideas for how I want it to look. But surprisingly, not that many. Like whenever I've looked through like Reddits and stuff for Eldritch Cannon, man, some people really go crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a fan of like a simpler design, but like
Oh yeah, people go nuts for
yeah,
sure.
I'm like, dude, this isn't a cannon. This is a fucking Gundam. Grab a Gundam.
It's supposed to be tiny. It's a tiny construct.
Yeah, like I don't know. I have a motif I'm going with Ed for sure, but I'm like, I look for like samples, and I'm like, these are all so edgy and so crazy.
And mine was just like a alarm clock with legs.
Yeah, I don't know. Spoiled. Looking for a boombox with legs, and I was gonna work from
Hey.
there. And, kind of found one, kind of, but
All right. And last but not least. Sweet. This is going to be interesting. Hmm. Okay. God damn.
Sorry, I just need 5-10 minutes, all right?
No problem. When will my mom start working again? Maybe one day. I'm just gonna go use the washroom and we'll get to it. Hopefully his lace will be with us when we get back to
Well, this is gonna be fun. I think.
What if we get mind flayed though? That's no good.
That would be very bad.
What a way to go, man. You know? What a way to go. I knew eventually because I'm like, man, we've had way too many like chummy mind flare. And if Baldur's Gate 3 taught me anything, is that as soon as you see them 3 times in a row, uh-uh.
We've had one chummy interaction with them, one that was not violent, but not friendly. We were just on a neutral planet and chose not to kill them on sight.
Yeah, that's true. And we were in a heated bidding war for a minute. So
Yeah.
that's some of the bloodiest of battles. I'm excited. Mostly because I think we're not like I don't think I'm gonna be able to hide in my weaver for this. I think I'm gonna have to
You have to actually
finally use this
toe to
kit,
toe.
dude. I'm excited for it. Carmen nailed it, dude. Artificers are awesome, dude. I've started seeing the vision, you know? I've started understanding it. And I'm like, oh man, this is like some real like crowd control, but like in a whole new meaning. I'm excited. Well, hopefully the dice are excited for me. 'Cause I feel like I've gotten very lucky this campaign so far with rolls, especially comparatively to like my other games right now.
I very much want to play another Artificer. Uh, the Artificer I had, I absolutely adored her. She was fantastic. It was the wrong campaign for her.
I hate when that happens, but I've been there before.
And Ryan was kind enough to let me retire her and bring in somebody that was right for the campaign.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when I get back home, depending on like I gotta get through one wedding and then my life could get back to normal schedule wise. I'm probably gonna try and get in on another game here soon.
Oh,
Yeah, he's gotta find the right one. But I've been definitely being like, oh shit, I got some free time. And
when's your
I've
free
been
time?
jonesing. I don't know. I right now Steph, she's mentioned something about Wednesdays maybe happening for the game because me and her really we want to play together. We
Oh
just
yeah,
like
of course.
we have like really conflicting schedules right now. It's the worst. It is the worst.
Josh and I would love to sit at a table together, but there's just his schedule will not allow it.
Yeah, so we're waiting for the moons to line up and then we can finally get back in a game. And we knew it was happening because we had like a steady. We're like, oh man, finally we found 2 games. I wonder what's gonna happen. And now her classes have totally taken over our usual slots. And but but I'm finding some openings. I'm locking in with a couple deadlines, so I'm like, I can sneak in another game. And it's fun, like playing this one immediately. Like I was playing like a very slow fantasy campaign and being like, okay, I'm kind of like I want to go crazier. And then over here, I'm like getting my Poe Dameron on, and I'm like, oh man, you know what would be really fun to add to this? Some real like daggers, sorcery fantasy back to it. Like we're never satisfied. Yeah, we're never satisfied. And wherever I play next, I've been looking at something. Like I think I would love to be a barbarian for a whole thing through. I think there's a lot of untapped RP potential people leave on behind with barbarians. Like they don't usually like I think there's a lot more to that class than like is usually portrayed. Which is nothing wrong with the usual like big angry brute guy, but I don't know. I've got a couple characters. I'm like, man, I
I
would
mean,
love to. Yeah,
as like barbarian concepts go, Shoei's but like epoxy is like
so
one of the
cool,
best I've
dude.
ever seen.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
really well done. It's so cool. That's what like I was immediately hyped
That's a
for
10
that.
out of
Like
10.
I was like, hell yeah, dude, this is what I'm talking about. You can do so much cool stuff with that class. Yeah. That or a fighter. That's what I'm looking at. I just want to have get clever with some fighting styles.
I should have sent you I should have sent you this Alan.
Fire away.
All
It's
right.
happening.
What do you say we hop to it?
Get to it.
Let's hop to it. Alrighty then. Let's go. I'm gonna start. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh yeah, initiative. Let's go with this.
We're gonna make this. We're gonna do side initiative. We're gonna just make this easy on ourselves, I think. Which means that
Oh, great.
all my NPCs will basically have a side.
Let's
The good guys and the bad guys. That's how we'll run this.
Mine was 23. Natural 20.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna put all of you guys. Bam. Bam. And you guys have all the guns. That's this is lace. Ed, where are you? You're probably getting your fighter, maybe?
Oh yeah, if I can, I guess.
Getting your fighter right now. Okay, cool. I don't want to do multiple stat. I don't want to do multiple initiatives. What would you guys prefer I do? Would you prefer I do side initiatives for good NPCs and bad NPCs, or should I do should I still group them? Like based on character sheets and stuff?
I think side sounds good.
Yeah, I like side initiative.
Cool. Probably
Yeah.
go faster that way. Sweet. Okay, let's see. I'll use their leaders as their initiatives. That's pretty good. And Okay, let's get some initiative. Who rolled above a 20? I think I heard Zelace roll above 20.
Yeah, 23.
Very good. That'll bring us to 20 to 15. 15 to 10.
12.
10.
13.
My brain. Okay, I got a 10. Thank you. I got a 10 from Bisan. I think I heard a 12 from Varsh.
Yep.
What did you get, Chaplain?
14.
14. Very good. What'd you get, Ed?
13.
13. And that is our initiative, folks. I think it's kind of a fitting initiative, too. So, no surprise round because basically them getting onto your ship and Yesenia's assassination, that was the surprise round. Now we have entered proper initiative. Let me get some proper balance going on. I admit the modding community is taking a fuck of a long time to fix their mods, and Tailspire must have really screwed up the script because it's never taken this long to cut it. So, as far as the status of the Nautiloid goes, we will call that a sort of theater of the mind situation. With that said, it's not going to be too difficult to make that happen. I don't usually like theater of the mind, but my size mod doesn't work, so I can't make a big enough ship to justify its size, and you'll see why it's not going to be too hard to interpret where it's at. Okay, so let's put on some battle music. I'm sure there is one here that's like, okay, listen to the Broken Circle. Okay, Mr. Zelace, you find yourself on the cannon. At the front of the ship, you see the Nautiloid. You see this massive carapace, sort of curl-shelled ship with massive tentacles coming out of the front, moving towards your ship. And you also know that you have been boarded, surprisingly. What would you do in this moment? Your cannon crew looks at you. The one elf and the plasmoid look at you sort of for guidance. What do you do? What do you say?
So how far is the Nautiloid?
The Nautiloid would be at the edge of combat range. So, with a 2,400 foot range on the cannon, you can still attack it at disadvantage if you please.
No. How far from me are the I can't remember, think of their name.
I'll show you.
Boarded. Sorry.
Yeah, your enemies.
Yeah.
So you're here on the cannon, that's you right there on your little step stool. And as you look down the stairs, trying to decide what best to do, you see that there are two mind flayers standing, sort of just appeared next to the Spelljammer, who is standing at the back of the deck. And then there's stuff going on at the foredeck as well.
So, sorry, how far are the mind flares?
Oh, how far are they? Okay, hang on. Let me work on that for you. From your position, the nearest mind flare is 60 feet.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action through a soul blade.
Okay.
It's going to be a strength one. I've got two. I can do dex or strength, so I'll do the strength one.
Sure.
And as a sharpshooter, that comes into play as well, yeah? So I use sharpshooter on this.
So could you say that again?
So I'm going to use my soul blades,
Yeah.
as a strength attack, and
Sure.
I use sharpshooter as well.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, you'll take the -5 on the attack roll. Go for it.
18 to hit.
Is that with the -5 included?
Yep.
Then that will certainly hit. Go ahead.
So that's 26.
26. No sneak attack, by the way. Just so you know.
Sorry, say again.
No sneak attack.
Yeah, no, that's 26. That's for the 10, 16 plus the 10 for the sharpshooter.
Very impressive. All right, you fire the side blade down, and you hit your mark quite well, and it sort of flares its tentacles angrily, and it sort of stares up at you with beady, glowing orange eyes. What next? Bonus action movement.
So bonus action was the soul blade. My movement, I'll just hide behind. I'll stay where I am, but just hide. Make sure I'm unseen by those that are down there.
Got
So
it. Maybe you just kind of you hide behind the main mass. No problem. Maybe a stealth check.
Wow, natural 1 for 11.
You unfortunately having a stool
No,
in the
sorry.
middle of the deck isn't always the best. You kind of like go to get down the step and your foot kind of catches on the side. You kind of tumble. No, you catch yourself, but no stuff, unfortunately. Okay, if that is all, sir.
That's all me, yeah?
Fantastic. That is going to bring us to the bad guys. So the first thing, Bisan, you're the closest. So you see this one Mind Flayer appear on the deck. And you've seen Mind Flayer before. They usually wear sort of silvery breastplate, the long draping black robes, and the red cloak. This one's different. This one who stands sort of on the deck where you are and you sort of look at, he is strangely muscular. Strangely muscular. And also actually has the head of another dead Mind Flayer hanging from his belt, and he is bare-chested and has all of these deep speech sigils sort of almost like scarred across the top of his body. And he puts his hand out, and a sun blade appears in his hand. Purple blade appears in his hand. And he will speak in deep speech. Do you understand deep speech? You do?
I do.
He will sort of, but he'll basically say, "The time is now, my thralls." You're going to see the 3 elven women turn at you and draw their blades and strike you.
What?
Oh shit! I'm just going to do this. Okay, these are for you there, Bisan. They come at you, daggers and rapiers in hand. First one. That's going to be a 15 to hit.
Nope.
Nope. Less for the rapier. And then comes in with the dagger on the bottom. And a wildness on the last one. So the first one fails. You start glancing blows. Next one comes at you. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
Nope.
Nope. Next one comes at you. That's going to be another 17 to hit. That one's a natural 20.
Shield.
Lucky
Wait, no, that won't matter if it's a natural 20.
Okay. Lucky for you, that's a dagger. So that's not as intense as it could be. That is going to be 12 points of piercing damage as the dagger just finds you right in the rib.
Okay.
The last one is going to make 3 strikes. I think it gets this elf over here. It's going to attack this one. So these 2 form up on you. For some reason, they don't flank. I don't know why they didn't, but they didn't. This one's going to attack the guy over there. Miss, and a natural 20. So that's going to be 18 points of damage to this person who's worked with you since the start, has been working with you for more than 100 days on this mangonel. The last survivor of the, other than you, the aberrant terror you fought the other day, the Cosmic Horror, takes a rapier blow to the chest, sort of, and is getting a little beat up over there, surprised. This individual, this strange and rather mighty-looking mind flayer, is going to move forward with its eyes trained on Lunarbow, with the blade sort of at his side, and it's going to move forward. As it does so, he is going to do a mind whip attack. Since you're doing the blades, one's going to sort of just like unerringly, this just psychic tentacle just shoots out from its head like a lance, and the other one's going for the captain. I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw. Captain fails.
13.
13, that is a failure. You will take 28 psychic damage. You may have that because you're Gith. You are both stunned in this moment. And you see the monster starts to move towards the captain, and its tentacles begin to sort of flare open towards him. But that is the end of his turn. That is going to bring us to Moradi Suthra, who is not a friend, not anymore, and is going to take out her wand and point it upward and cast Fireball on the foredeck where the cannon crews are. I need a deck save from Zalace, please.
Deck save, is this anything to do with being frightened?
Being frightened? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
20.
20. That will be a save, which is a very good thing for two reasons. The first is you're going to dodge the majority of the fireball damage, which is 8d6. So you're only going to take 14 fire damage. The Commandant alone makes it around the fireball. So everyone else is going to take 29 fire damage. But there's another problem, ladies and gentlemen. Cannons are loaded with gunpowder. You know what happens to gunpowder when it catches fire?
It quietly fizzles out.
No, not quite. I'm afraid to say. It explodes. So I'm just going to go quickly look up that damage right now for gunpowder. That is going to be an additional 14d6 fire damage between the two cannons exploding. That'll be 59 damage, which is going to be reduced to... that's going to be 29 damage to use Zalace as well. So it's, okay, come on. 29 damage. Let's see if the Commandant's still alive. Because he survived. He got the deck save. Commandant is still alive. But in this moment, Zalace, you sort of look at the commandant. There's like fire comes, and you and the commandant, being the most expert artillerists on the deck, know what's about to happen, and both of you jump for cover. You just see the plasmoids and the other elven archers just as fire just explodes off the front deck. The top mast begins to fall from the excess of damage. And as the dust settles, you do see that the other members of your crew are dead.
Well, with that 29, I'm down.
All right, you're on death saves, but the rest of the crew is not so lucky, I'm afraid. The commandant is barely standing. Let me go double check to make sure he's still standing. Yep, he's still standing. We'll deal with him in a minute, but yeah, cannons are on fire, as is the entire top deck. So I'm going to just go mark that real quick. Yeah, it's not a great day. Okay, so that is Loradi Sutra. The Mind Flayers will advance. Who we got here? I need the one that starts to approach, or actually, we're gonna do it this way. This one is going to move this way to about here. They're gonna sort of. Actually, I just need a wisdom saving throw from you, Harsh.
Wisdom save. Very well. There's a dirty 20.
You feel it invade your mind and attempt to sway you to its domination, but you are able to break through this psychic attack on your brain. And as you resist, it turns around, sort of peels out from under its tentacles, and the other one will step forward. You're going to see a pinkish blast of energy fire from his mind as he's going to do a mind blast on the deck here. Yeah. Come on. There we go. I believe the size is, yeah, it's like 53. Just making sure I got that all right. 60-foot cone. Zalace, you are going to take one death failure as you are assaulted by psychic energy. I need an intelligence saving throw from Varsh, Chaplain, and Ed. Or, yeah, you know what?
17.
God damn, Varsh, you're not interested in dying today.
16.
16, that's a success.
I got a natural 1.
Oh, man.
Wait,
you're Chaplain alone?
You're a construct, right?
Yeah.
Does this even work on you?
He still doesn't mind.
I can still take psychic damage, yeah.
Damn it.
So Varsh and Ed, you managed to resist. I also need, or I'll roll for him. But Chaplain, you're going to take 26 psychic damage and be stunned.
That's not good.
Like Zoink Scoob. Commandant managed to succeed a save. And I need to do Ephrath. Ephrath succeeds with a natural 19.
Nice.
Or Songquote succeeds as well. God damn, these guys are supposed to be really deadly. 1 out of 7 people? That's not good. Someone's getting a
They're
demotion.
legitimately kicking her asses right now.
That's true. That's true. That is fair. Okay, that is all the bad guys. That'll bring us to you, Chaplain. You are stunned, so we will pass your turn, but you can make another intelligence saving throw at the end of your turn to return to normal functionality.
All right, I'm gonna do that now.
Go for it.
13.
13, you are still stunned, I'm afraid to say.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jord. It's bad. It's really bad. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and get onto the Weaver because this might be our ticket out of here. If we get out of here, this is
Fair
this
enough.
bad. I'm not going far in it. If I get in, I'm just trying to get into it.
Yeah, using your movement, you rappel down for half movement and mount for the other half. You are in your Weaver.
And my bonus action would be to actually pilot it. But so can I pilot it now or no?
I believe it's a bonus action to pilot it. Yes.
So all right, so I'm gonna use just enough of its movement to get towards where the captain is,
Okay.
and kind of have like a readied action to be like as soon as he's on it, try and get us, like try and get like not get out of dodge, but like just give him like at least some sort of safety. And
Got it. So you whip around. I believe you can use an arcane drive point to dash, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to hold an arcane drive point, like you got your finger on the button.
Yeah. I just need the captain on there and his orders. Maybe he tells me not to, but it's like
Got it. All right, fantastic, Ed. Well done. That'll bring us to Mr. Voidlight. You and Etherith are up to bat. What do you do?
Oh god, this is rough. Okay. I'm going to cast... This might not work, but I'm going to cast Fog Cloud on top of the Mind Flayers.
Ooh, okay. That's a 20-foot radius, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right. Fog cloud is up. This cloud of fog immediately obfuscates the mid deck. Is that where you want to place it?
Can I place it slightly,
This way?
more slightly off away so that the bottom half, like the south side of the screen, is free from it, so more upwards,
Got it.
and maybe
Like
more
that?
towards me, left a bit, further
Screen
left.
left?
Screen left.
Oh,
Yeah.
you want it to hit you as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you're
Bit,
thinking?
bit further up.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do nicely.
All right. You do so, no problem.
I then want to move into melee range with the Mind Flayers. I don't have a bonus action to hit them with, but I want them to be in range of me.
Got it.
And then as for Etherith, how much movement does F have based on? He has 40 of flying. How far can Etherith get around the
The fog cloud?
Etherith to kind of go... I'm trying to get him to like sort of be just outside of the fog cloud covering the other side.
You want him to be like right here, basically?
Yeah.
Or all the way over? Like over
Just where he was by the wheel. Yeah.
Got it, right there.
Yeah. And then
Alright, is there an action?
I would like to use the cold breath. I want to angle the cone so it doesn't hit Vash.
Absolutely, can be done. I'll put it down anyway, but I don't think we're gonna have any issues here. Yeah, no problem. And he can angle it. You're coordinated, like almost psychically. So cool. Roll me 3d8, and I'll roll some con saves for my players. One fails, one succeeds.
17 cold damage.
17. So we'll say this one at the back is going to take the 17. And the one at the front will take the 8 points of damage. Okay. Fantastic. Is there anything else?
Just for after his bonus action, have him phase so that he, at the very least, is resistant to damage that probably will never come based on like who we're fighting, but hey, we better it on than off.
Natural instinct, fair enough. Fog cloud goes up. We'll say Epworth even gets there before you do, and
Yeah.
it's going to blast just cold breath of space right into that breath, and you hear from the flares, and that sound helps you zone in. You draw your blade and you run in. Is there
Okay.
anything else?
That I believe covers everything I can do. Next turn, depending what they do, maybe we'll have a shot, or I'm
Fair
dead.
enough. Or dead. Bisan, you are confronted by these two these two elven warriors. You also see this guy moving towards the captain, who's like, is a little stunned. What do you do?
Bonus action, second wind.
Go for it.
Fuck. 14.
14.
I'll take that. Yeah,
Okay.
I rolled max.
Great.
I don't. This was a great time to roll max. Yay!
That it certainly is, yeah.
Let me knock that there. Okay. And then I am going to. Have either of these two been hit? Are they both fresh?
They're both fresh.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna go hit the one on the right with my sword.
Got it.
16 on the dice. Let me just check out what it looks like. Yeah, it's a +7, so it's a 23 to hit.
23 will certainly hit.
That does 9 damage. I'm also going to use a psi point. Let me get into all that because I can throw a psionic strike since I actually connected with that one.
Okay.
Let me. It's anyone within 30 feet of me, so I'm actually going to hit the same person.
Go for it.
And that's a 4.
A 4. A 4 what?
Damage. Psi.
Oh, okay,
Damage.
you put a little extra psychic damage on your swing. I gotcha. You bring the blade around and you use your psi power to sort of almost like telekinetically launch your arm forward, get a little extra thrust. Put 4 extra damage in there, very nice.
And I can't move out of range without taking a. Maybe. I have to stand my ground. I'm fine.
Fair enough. Okay, Captain Lunarbow is stunned. He's sort of and he's trying to sort of regain his senses. At the end of his turn, he will return to his senses, which is great. And he's going to turn around and draw his mace, and his mace will glow with the light of the Astral Sea as he turns to face this mind flayer who approaches him. Who else? We got good guys. Yes, this one over here needs to take his turn. Okay. Sort of is getting attacked. Gets sort of stabbed with the rapier. Sort of grabs the arm and pulls his own short sword and tries to cut her belly while she is being dashed there. Swings out of the way. 12 doesn't quite hit, and not going to hit with 11, unfortunately. So that is that. We're running out of crew here. The order in a second. Commandant is going to do a quick mental check to see who's alive. He does know that you're alive, Zalace, and is going to go over to you, and he is going to throw a potion of healing in your mouth.
Okay.
Oh my god. That's going to be 7 points of healing to use, Lace, and you are no longer on death's door. And he says, Lace, stand up! We've got to go! Things are bad! And he's going to pull out his blunderbuss and kind of like go to the edge and prepare to defend the upper fortification. Bisan?
Should somebody be running Epoxy? Who's here?
I don't know, where is Epoxy right now?
Like, she's on the ship.
They're on the ship.
Yeah, she's on the ship somewhere.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry, I considered it. Don't worry. Many variables have been considered in this ambush. That is going to bring us to the Auror, who is going to sort of hold her orrery and is, as the nautiloid's flying in, she's basically holding the orrery upward and trying to sort of like do her job as best she can to try and influence the battle if she can, to try and bring down the encroaching nautiloid. We don't really know how that's going right now, but she's doing her best. That's all we know. She's trying to do her job. She's a good orer, but she's not a good warrior. That'll bring us to the end of that. Top of the rounds, Lace, you are up on your feet. What would you like to do?
Right, okay. Well, there's nothing else I can do for anybody on there because everybody's dead up here, yeah?
It appears to be. They're like, flesh is seared, one person's missing like arm and part of body. It's a miracle you survived.
Okay. So I want to go 25 feet to the right, as close to the, well, obviously we're standing up, as close as I can get to the stairs.
So you stand up, that's going to cost you 10 feet of movement, because we round down in D&D, and you have 25 feet of speed. And then you can 15 feet get right to the stairs and look down on the deck and see a big smoke cloud, really. And you also see the Spelljammer, who just murdered a crew member and then a bunch more crew members.
Okay, so if I can bonus action hide where I am and then try and shoot the mind flare that I can see.
The only mind flare you can see right now. Yeah, Barsh has a fog cloud up, so you can't see any of those mind flares that are obscured, but you can see the one way back here on the forward, or on the.
And how far away are they?
Let's find out. First off, roll me a stealth check. See how well that goes. They are 80 feet away.
$11 stealth.
11 stealth. We'll see how well that goes.
So, hand crossbow at 220 feet, so I'll be disadvantaged, yeah?
As long as there's a range of 80 feet or lower.
30 to 120.
Oh, then yeah, go ahead and take a disadvantage. Well, it'll be a straight shot, actually, because you're... Ooh, actually, let me check here. So this will be a disadvantage. Go ahead and take a disadvantage shot. Unfortunately, you did not roll stealth well enough to obscure yourself from this particular area.
$24.
24. A disadvantage. That's incredible.
Yeah. A 19 out of
was...
20 is all roll.
Yeah, no worries. That will certainly hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Will I get a sneak attack with that as well?
I'm afraid not. Disadvantage cancels all sneak attack.
So 17.
17. That is pretty good damage, sir. So from across the deck, you And the mind flare sort of doesn't. It looks at you with. Actually, in this moment, it doesn't. So it takes the attack, Solis. Sort of takes it and he kind of goes to look at you, and then he sees the ship and he looks you in the eye, Ed. Sort of like looks up at you with beady eyes, with focused interest. Is there anything else, Solis?
No.
No. In this moment, this creature looks up at your ship, Ed, and puts out his hand, and in full Darth Vader style, telekinetically grabs onto your ship. And you feel the ship just like lose from your control. I want you to make me a vehicle check to try and basically manipulate the ship out of the telekinetic grid if you can, but it is strong. So I need you to roll me. What ability score do you think would be most important in this moment to try and pilot this?
I feel like intelligence, right? Because like how to maneuver.
Intelligence? Are you proficient with space vehicles? Oh, you're a pilot, right?
I'm a pilot.
Okay. If you have any maneuver, check your gambits. See if you got any.
I think I might have a reaction that I was about to use for this. Ship class pilot. Okay. There's no reactions, but like there are stuff I can do right now, like
okay. So here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm just by the wording of telekinesis, which is what he's using. I need you to make me a strength check.
Okay, cool.
You have a gambit, you can throw it in there. If you've got any ability, you can throw it in there. But it's going to come down to a strength check. This is about you sort of mustering the strength of the ship itself.
All right, cool. That's a 19 plus 1, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That is really well and good. He is a pretty powerful individual, unfortunately. That's going to be a 25. You're sort of trying to get the controls to work, and maybe you're like consider hitting the arcane drive, and he just pulls the ship in, and he sort of forces it to, like almost like it smashes through some of the side roping, through some of it, just forces the ship there, just moves it there, and he holds on to you, and he says something in deep speech, which only you'll interpret, Bisan, which says, "Get to the other third of the map." And
I can also, I know deep speech, and yeah.
Then you understand it as well. He looks to these warriors, and he just kind of shouts it aloud. He says, "Get the map," and sort of focuses on you. You see all the other warriors who are like fighting Bisan, sort of turn their attention to your ship.
It's kind of what I want. So.
Which will bring us to, as he's focused on you, it's going to bring us to these guys who are going to they're going to use their Lightfoot actions and disengage from you, Bisan, and they're going to jump on the ship. Lucky for them, you've recently installed some grips on the outside of the ship, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they jump onto the ship. One is going to try and rip you out of the chair if he can. You will get advantage on this. I think I put that in the Weaver stats, right? This is that the pilot and anyone trying to hold on to the ship will have advantage. Okay, yeah. So this will be sort of like a dismount check. I want you to roll me advantage, athletics, or acrobatics.
Okay.
18 is your DC.
That is nope. That is 15.
15. Grabs onto you and like just uses almost the rapier as like a pry bar, which is not at all how you should ever use a rapier. Don't ever do that. And like pries you out of the seat and it's basically going to do like a shove action, like throw you to the deck of the ship. You'll still be on your feet, but you have been pulled from the Weaver in this moment, and the Weaver will just sort of settle now that it doesn't have a pilot. Also because the Mind Flayer loosens his telekinetic grasp on the ship, and the Weaver just kind of lands on the deck. You look up at this Mind Flayer who just like sort of looks down at you, and we'll say in deep speech, we'll say, "Take the prisoner," or no, he calls you Map. He says, "Take the map," and just sort of turns his attention back to Lunarbow. I think now that Ed's on the deck, I think this one's going to turn his attention back to you, Bisan, and just use the rest of the movement to just jump down into melee with you, and it's going to continue with the rapier assault. So it's going to be 2 rapier attacks. One is a hard miss. The other is a modified 20 to hit.
Shield.
Block it with your psionic power. And we'll throw the dagger in there, why not? That's going to be a miss, though. It's going to be 15. Okay. This one will remain on the Weaver for the moment, as it's spent its turn economy. This one's going to attack Buddy over there a couple times. That's a hit. That's a hit. And the dagger. Oh, shit. Oh my god, I'm going to one. There it is. That's a miss. So 2 rapier strikes will hit. So it would be 10 and 9. So it's going to be 18 damage, and stabs her in the chest. She falls dead. Bad guys, Mind Flayers, bad guys. I think they back out of the smog because they have a vested interest in being able to see.
One of them I will attack with opportunity.
So my question to you is, can you see in the fog?
I have blind sight.
You have blind sight! Go for it, take an attack!
And I have sentinels, whichever one I hit, if I hit them, will stop.
Fair enough, fair enough. I think the first one to back out was the most wounded. I think that makes sense.
My rolls fail me at the last second. That's a 12.
Well, sorry, buddy. You take a good swing though, as you. Oh, you'll have advantage because he's blinded and you're not.
Oh yeah, woohoo! Let's do this again. Okay, 18 to hit.
There we go. That'll hit.
Cool, and we'll just do a big old swing. As I get the minimum roll of 6.
6, but he's locked up.
Yeah.
Locked in place. That is very good.
Out of curiosity, can Ethereth see the other one? Actually, could I think of it?
Does Ethereth have blind sight?
He has dark vision. That's not good enough.
Not good enough, sorry to say. So this one backs out for 10 feet, and then he's going to do over to here, and he's going to start climbing up to the fort deck as he heard the commands of his master. Oh my god, don't do this to me. You're supposed to be you're not that cool. You can't phase that. You're not that awesome. Sorry, buddy. Just starts climbing up the ladder here, and that's going to be the end of the turn. Can't really see the bad guy, but I'll roll it see if it gets Mind Blast back. It does not. But it does have some other spells going for it. And it can't see over the edge, so we can't do what we want, what we really, really want. I think nobody down here is of interest enough. It's going to dash. It's going to dash to the top deck. Dude, it's not what I told you to do. Okay, so moves. I'm going to lose it! I'm going to lose it! Okay. Just get your ass up there. Okay, cool. Stop flying. Stop flying. There you go. Attaboy. Okay, so that was going to be, that's 5, 10, 20 across there. It's another 20. Couple ladders, 20. So at the end of the dash action, you just get to the top deck, and that's it. This guy down here in the smog, he's got a brain blasty thing going on left over. We do want thralls. I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna take a disadvantaged tentacle attack against you, Varsh.
Go crazy.
That's gonna be double 14s for a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
In this moment, Varsh, you like slash him, and he's like stopped in place. He turns around and his tentacles lash out at you, and he grapples onto your head and drags you closer to him. You must make an intelligence saving throw.
Well, I've been rolling these well at least, so let's see how we do.
You also take 9.
Never mind.
You are stunned in this moment. You are grappled in the Mind Flayer's tentacles, and you are going to take 19 psychic damage.
Ouch.
That is going to... That's not a great place to be, Marsh. That's going to be Chaplin's turn. Chaplin, you are online, my friend. What do you do?
Oh shit, because I've been stunned, does the fog cloud end?
Yes, that is right. Thank you for reminding me. So the fog cloud ends. Chaplin, you see Varsh fully wrapped in the tentacles of a Mind Flayer. What do you do?
I was stunned at the end of last turn and failed my throw. Am I still stunned, or can I act now?
You failed your saving throw. You're still stunned. Roll me another intelligence saving throw to see if you end it at the end of your turn.
Boo! Boo!
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
Oh, almost had a 20. 14.
14. 14's just shy. I'm sorry to say. You're still like trying to get your systems back online, and it's tough. It's difficult. I'm afraid to say. Mr. Jord, you have been called out. What do you do? You seem to be a center of attention.
Ed's gonna like take just a second, recompose. He's gonna look at Otto, who's on his shoulder, and like just give him a nod. And Otto's gonna emit an energy as Ed summons an Eldritch Cannon Protector.
Got it. So some of your it goes nods at you and sort of like sticks one of its legs into your pack. And in full like Iron Man 2, like this, like the suitcase Iron Man, just like sticks it in there and just like almost connects into this like mechanical backpack, and it up the side of Otto, and Otto is going to become what kind of cannon?
Protector.
Protector cannon, very cool. Throw that sucker down right there.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to give hopefully me and Bisan some a 1d8 plus 4 health points.
All right.
Temporary. Okay. Oh, nice. 8. So that's 8 plus 4, 12.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Happy for that.
And like Ed'll stand, like, you know, he's got his little gadget thing, and he's let's throw down.
Throw down, baby. Is there anything else?
Am I engaged right now? I am, right?
You're engaged by Pirate Lady over here.
All right, so now I'm staying here. I'm who they want. I've got some health points to help me. I've got my shield in, so I'm standing.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, Varsh, I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw to try and end the stun. Oh.
This will probably not work. What's the O?
Must make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw or be stunned until this grapple ends. But either
14.
way, the 14 doesn't do the job either way, so...
Yeah.
You're stunned as the tentacles have you. They're sort of like the suckers are sort of like on your brain, kind of like almost like sort of like tasing your brain. It's hard to compute anything with that going on, and you can feel this sort of like cylindrical maw sort of like beginning to like drill at the back of your brain.
Can I?
Ephrith can act independently. Yep.
Okay, Etherith is gonna go behind it, take a bite.
Yep.
Does that even count as flanking at that point?
Yeah, he's got attention on you, so I'll give you the flank.
Yeah. Okay.
You may be stunned, but you're still a combatant and you still got attention.
That is a dirty 20 for Etherith.
30-20 will hit, roll me some damage, hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby.
Okay. That is 8 piercing and 2 cold, and I also need to roll the cold breath recharge, don't I?
That is a really hurt mind flare. That is very bloody.
And the breath does not recharge. Oh
No.
well. That will be Etherith's turn.
That'll be Ephrith's turn, fair enough. Okay, Bisan, top deck, what do you do?
Muted?
Okay, well, there's one in front of me. And I've been hitting that one.
Go for it.
I'm going to hit her some more now.
Alright.
Oh, can't find the dice that I want to roll. Dadgummit. I'm missing. Alright, you know what I'm going to use? Sorry, guys. I'm missing dice that I'm looking for, and you're not rolling well. Let's try this one. Okay. That is a 19 plus 7. That is a 26.
26 will hit. Roll me some damage.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use another psi point.
Fantastic.
Add the d6. So la 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 la. Oh wait, no, that's a d10. Not that's the wrong dice. That was we're not counting that one. Okay, so that is 4 plus 5 is 9 plus 5. 9 plus 5 is 14.
14 damage. Fantastic. Another great psionic slash. Well done.
Oh.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and action surge.
All right.
I'm feeling it. So that gives me another attack, yeah?
Yep. Gives you another full action spend. Yeah.
Crazy. That was another 19. So plus 7 is another 26.
That'll hit.
I'm gonna go ahead and beef this one up too, because why not?
Because why not?
So that was 5 plus 10 plus 15.
15 damage. That is a bloodied enemy that you were fighting there. You slash really fast, and she takes that damage, and she's sort of like looking a little uncertain about this combat as you are drilling into her pretty good. All right, is there anything else?
No, I'm done.
All right, that'll bring us to El Capitan. Captain Lunarbow looks at this sort of leader, and he's just going to look around, and he's going to say, "The ship has lost, abandoned ship!" And he is going to charge this main mind flare with mace in hand and try and do something to cover a retreat here. It's going to be 2 attacks. Both will hit. He comes in. The mind flare sort of just like is like get the map and sort of turns around into a mace shot and just just smashes this guy across the dome. And there's like a splash of radiant power off of it, which is going to end up being. This one was not his most impressive one, but it's 11 damage. The second one's a little better. That's going to be 15 damage on the second blow, which smashes him in like the stomach. Just and slams him in the chest. He takes the damage and very much turns to confront Lunarbow, as he's proven himself to be a great threat. That's Lunarbow. Any other allies left? We're running low on them. Songquo heard abandoned ship. She sort of looks around and frankly just like climbs up on the side and just like jumps off the side and goes into her shell and just floats off into the Astral Sea. She will abandon ship as commanded. And that is going to be that. That's all the allies left, I think.
Is the Commandant still?
Oh, that is right! We can never forget the Commandant. He goes, abandoned ship? That's not very gif. And he is going to... he's going to go try and run and help. Yeah, he sees Mr. Voidlight is in a spot of trouble. He's not going to let that stand. He's going to go 15. He's going to go another 15 down onto the deck. I said he had a blunderbuss. I lied, he had a musket out because he does. And he's going to try and shoot that mind flare off of Varsh. It's possible.
Just imagine it. I'll save you, Vosh.
Oh shit! I killed Vosh. No, he natural 20.
Oh shit!
Blows the mind flare's head to smithereens, and Varsh, you suddenly like come back to your senses, and the tentacles just sort of fall off of your face. As
I reverse jinxed it. Nice.
You did. You reverse jinxed it. He manages to kill a mind flare. He goes, huh, I killed a mind flare. Let's kill the rest of them now. And he is going to, I think, try and shoot this guy up here. Because he's a stupid fucking GIF, and I hate GIFs so much. He somehow, takes out the rod. He puts gunpowder in. He puts the rod into pushing the gunpowder. Then puts in the bullet. Then he puts the rod back in to put the bullet back in. And he puts more gunpowder in. And then he puts it on the top of the flint, loads it, puts the dip rod back into the machine, all under 1 second. And then he fires again. Fucking stupid.
And he's a hippopotamus.
And he's a hippopotamus. This time he rolls a 6. And it goes by and he goes, must be because I'm bending the rules of physics for no reason. That's going to be, that is going to be the Commandant. Mr. Voidla, or Mr. Zalace, what do you do?
Okay, so what I would like to do is get behind Chaplin if I can. So I like to jump over the edge and use the rest of my movement to get behind Chaplin.
I don't think that should be too much of a problem. Yeah, make me an acrobatics check. It's pretty decent DC, because that's a high jump. That's like a 20-foot jump.
And you've just got the little teeny legs.
You just got little tiny legs. Or acrobatics or athletics, your choice. DC 20.
12.
You go, my fucking ankle! And you fall prone. You're going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, then I kill myself. I'm dead.
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny.
Oh, it is.
I'm sorry, Zordis, that's terrible.
You couldn't
That's
have
okay.
just
Buddy.
gone down the ladder?
I don't think I would have made it, but that's what's try.
Okay. Okay, so Lace jumps off of the foredeck and just smashes across the deck. That's the punches. And the commandant's like, "Ah, fuck." And that will be Lace's turn. I'm sorry, Lace. That's gonna bring us back to the bad guys here.
It sounded good.
It did. That was gonna be awesome. Anyway, what are we doing here? Okay, this one is gonna do what he came to the top deck for. He's gonna look at you, Ed, and you're gonna feel his mind attempt to invade yours. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Can I use my inspiration to re-roll this one?
You certainly can.
Okay. All right, that's better. 14 plus 1, 15?
You fucker. You just saved DC 15. He's trying to invade your mind, and you have a full anime flashback where Lunarbow's for some reason speaking in Japanese, and he's like, "Ed, you cannot give up. You must be strong for the family." And you're like, "You're right." And you managed to push past the oppression of the Mind Flayer's invasions. And he wanders over here to get out of harm's way for the time being. I'm going to see if he gets his Mind Blast back. He does not. But we got some other drama to deal with. I think Lady 1 and Lady 2 are going to go and attack. Yep, runs around over here, flanking Bisan. Okay, let's do this. Bisan, you got some attacks coming your way. You got 3 attacks to start. The first one is going to be... that's going to be a 25 to hit.
Cool. Just so you know, because I threw that shield up and it's supposed to last until the beginning of my next turn, right? In which case my
Yeah,
MP is...
your turn has already come and gone since then.
So the shield doesn't last until...
It lasts until the start of your next turn. And you...
okay,
you
so it's still up.
Well, when did you shield?
The last time I was in my last round.
Yeah, so when they attacked you last, you shielded. That was on their round.
Yeah.
And then it's come around to your turn since then, which means the shield's gone. And now we're back around to their turn.
Okay, I see.
Okay, it's 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Okay, you're gonna take 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
That's going to be 23 to hit.
Will hit.
That's going to be 10 more piercing damage. 2 rapier shots to you.
Can you give me
last one's going to be
just a quick moment, because I think there's something that I can do. I'm just trying to look it up, and I'm really, really sorry.
Okay.
It's a psionic thing.
Sure. Yeah.
I believe I have a psionic shield that I can throw up. I'm just looking for it really quickly. Protective field. The protective field, and it will allow me to reduce. Allow me to reduce by a d6 plus my intelligence modifier.
Okay. You want to reduce this instance of damage?
Yeah, so I would like to reduce the 10 by a d6 plus 1, please.
Okay.
So that's all I was going to do. So d6 was it's a 5. So all right, cool. Thank you. I'm sorry. That was the first time I've done that.
No problem. First time using it, no worries. Okay, swing sort of rapier gashes you and then comes in for that second one, and you sort of use the force of your mind to sort of slow the kinetic force of it, and it only just sort of grazes you instead of the full gashing blow it's supposed to be. And it's going to dagger attack you, which is a miss with a 13. Ed, these are for you. This is going to be an advantage. Natural 20. That's going to be 17 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
Second regular attack comes in, another natural 20. That's going to be 15 points of piercing damage. These are all non-lethal, by the way. And last one's a dagger shot. That's going to be 22 to hit. Okay.
Go
Is
for
that a
it.
hit?
Yeah,
I mean, it hits. Yeah, okay, cool. That's going to be 5 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
So 2 massive rapier blows, and then and I think this one was told to secure the map, so is going to unload on you rather than Bisan this round. So this really damaged one haphazardly turns attention away from you, Bisan, almost unwillingly, and then it's going to lay into you, Ben. On the flank, 17 to hit.
I'm gonna use my reaction to shield.
Okay, block that, no problem. You take out this, maybe you got like a watch or something, and you smash it, and then energy field goes up, protecting you.
Hell yeah.
Gonna keep going, gonna keep persisting. That's gonna be 17 to hit, which I don't think hits.
Nope.
Nope, not with the shield. And miss, definitely miss with the daggers. So that's that. This guy is gonna plant his focus firmly upon Lunarbow, which reminds me, I gotta do some notes here. Okay, that's fine, we don't need that. I think it's gonna take the Sun Sword and go and try and lay out the captain. I'm gonna see if we got our mind whip back too. Oh, we did get the mind whip back. You know what? Instead, I think it's going to try and mind whip you, Ed, and the captain. So I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Captain succeeds this time around.
3 + 6, 9.
9. You are going to take 17 points of psychic damage and be stunned.
I'm down.
You go prone. This is non-lethal psychic damage, but we'll deal with that in a second. So you're on death's door. The captain also failed, I believe. Nope, succeeded. Sorry. And is going to take half of that, so it's 16. It's going to be 8 points of psychic damage to the captain. And as you go down, he goes, "No!" And brings the mace around to try and help defend you, but it's a little late. You're down on the ground. That is going to bring us back to chat. Oh, I keep forgetting about her, but she's going to do some stuff. She's going to climb to the top deck. And as the captain's fighting away, she's going to say, "Captain, I suggest that you stop this madness and submit for the safety of your crew." She's going to cast suggestion on the captain. The captain sort of manages to pull his focus from it. He is not under the influence of suggestion. He turns around and he says, "You'll pay for this! How could you have done this? We've fought together for years!" I'll say in this moment of drama, she sort of, "I always fucking hated you." And she snaps her fingers, and you're going to see a disguised self fade away, and she's actually half orc. Or half scrow, perhaps. Chaplain. Intelligence saving throw, sir.
Coming up. 15.
15. Alright, so I'm going to check the stats on that. Target, blah, 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 blah. Repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn. So in this moment, you come back online. So on your next turn, you will be able to do stuff. I'm sorry, stun fucking sucks. I apologize. But you will on your next turn be capable of doing stuff.
No problem. I understood it. So I cannot do absolutely anything right now, right? That was the very end of my turn.
Yeah, you have your reaction back, but that was the end of your turn, so.
All right, that's how I understood it. Okay, thank you.
Got it. Ed, I need a private death saving throw, sir. You're muted. Oh, you guys said it to be privately. Never mind. Sorry, I forgot my own rules. Got it. Understood. Okay, that'll bring us to Mr. Voidalites. You are no longer stunned, sir. What do you do?
Sweet, just gonna roll Ephtharith's Yay, Ephtharith recharged. Sweet. How far is the traitor from me?
Who? The traitor?
Yeah, the traitor.
She is.
Right, if that's even a real name.
Yeah. She is. We're gonna call that 35 feet from you. She's got some cover though.
Can I do to maybe bridge the gap?
You can move in this direction. Like you move over here, you have a lot. You have a lot less cover.
You know what? Actually, okay, I'm gonna turn around and try and help Chaplain.
Got it.
That should
Chaplain...
break the sun, right?
Fair enough. Yeah. You turn around, you see Chaplain sort of shakes himself out, comes back online. You do see, yeah, you do see Zalace just out on deck.
Kind of look to. I'll leave that to. I can only help one at a time, and Chaplain's up.
Okay.
And he's a cleric.
Fair enough. All right. So what are you doing?
And how much movement was that?
That's a great question. That was, we call that 15 feet.
Okay, after I've helped Chaplain, I'm gonna move back in the same direction I was going, and then that's like my action used, so I'll move back towards Ephtharith. I have 30 feet, so yeah.
So you're taking the help action?
Yeah, that was the help action.
Fantastic. So Chaplain, you will have advantage on your next skill check.
Okay, as for Ephtharith, Ephtharith's going after the traitor.
Hell yeah.
I'll have Ephtharith fly. They have 40 feet fly. How far can they get? I want to angle them in such a way that maybe they can get both Lurati and maybe a Mind Flayer if they're able to.
Look. So that is about 30 feet right there.
Yep.
You got 15 feet.
Yeah, it's 15
so
feet.
Yeah, you're only going to get Lurati unless you want to hit the captain.
Shoot. Is there any way it can angle it to just hit the two of them? Or to position
you can't angle it to just... You could angle it to just get Lurati or just the Mind Flayer. But it's a little... Yeah, it's pretty... Here, I'll put Ephtharith right up against... Just to take a look here. I'll give it to you.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that then.
Alright.
DC 13 con.
DC 13 con. That is a save from the big bad. And as for the traitor, she definitely fails.
Okay, 12 cold damage after the big bad.
Alright, she'll take 12, big bad will take 6.
And Lurati's speed is reduced.
Lurati's speed is reduced. She turns around and says, I have been getting sick of you. Is there anything else?
That about covers everything I can do, unless I have any cool bonus actions I can do. Ooh, I'll cast How far did Etherith go away from me?
Etherith is currently, we'll call that 35 feet from you.
I'll use a bonus action to use my warlock spell that my patron gave me to cast Veil of Dusk, and they now have +1 to their armor class.
Okay, very nice, very nice. The shadows permeate around in this eldritch, horrific way that will sort of permeate and suffuse with the lunar powers. Very, very, very cool. All right, Bisan. You are quite surrounded, my friend. Ed is down. Danger lurks. What do you do?
So I basically I have one on either side of them, yeah? No, there are
you
three
got
of them.
one on either side of you. The third one's over here.
Oh, okay. Oh! The one I've been hitting, I'm going to hit again.
Fair enough.
There's not much else that I can do here. Hold on, let me. First time using things. Let me check something out here real quick.
All right.
Telekinetic. Okay, but that takes an action, and that takes a bonus action. Okay, so I am going to use a bonus action to recover a psionic energy point.
Sure.
Wish I could do both, but I can't. So the one I've been hitting, I'm going to hit again.
Understood.
That is a 19.
19 will hit.
Okay, that's not bad. For 9.
9 damage, very good. She's pretty hurt. She's on her last legs.
All right.
All right, fair enough. You slash her again. She's. You see that some force is keeping her in the fight, but she is near death. Which is going to bring us to Lunarbow, who I think is going to try and swing into. You know what? I think he will just. I think in his rage of betrayal, he will just soak the opportunity attack. The blade is going to come around and hit Lunarbow in the back, if possible. From this much stronger mind flayer, literally. Where are you? There we are. Okay, that is going to be a 16. Not enough. It gashes the back of his armor, leaving like a radiant like lasers gash across the back of his armor, but he is safe from that blow. His gambit paid off. He will take the advantage, and he's going to lay into Lorati, who turns around and is like suddenly surprised that he's on top of her. That's going to be big old modified 20 to hit, which she will take. He's wielding with 2 hands, so we're going to throw that plus. So 4 plus 13. She takes that, screams, it hurts. It hurts. He'll attack again with the flank with Ephrath. This time he swings and she manages to just barely get out of the way as he misses her. Or bounces off her mage armor, more accurately. Which will bring us to the Commandant. Who is going to Yeah, let Chaplain handle Zalace. And he's going to run up with his musket. There's a little bit too much cover for everything, so I think he's just going to dash action to the top deck if he can. Yeah, so 20 feet, and we'll say he makes his way halfway up the ladder by the end of the turn. Why do grenades have to hurt people I like? And that brings us to Zalace. I need a private death saving throw, sir.
That was a 6, so a failure.
Okay. Keep in mind in the future, those are private, or supposed to be private.
Sorry, do apologize.
No problem at all. Okay, that will bring us back around to the bad guys. Loradi, I think we'll deal with her in a second. I'm gonna deal with the big guy here first, who's just rolling really good on his mind things. Big profit man, what are you going to do? Captain's a major threat, so we're going to try and... You know what, let's do another one. In this moment, his mind lashes lash out again. Bisan and the captain are going to take it. So Bisan, I need an intelligence saving throw. Captain fails, unfortunately.
Bisan got a 20 modified.
20 modified, you will be fine. The captain, however, is overwhelmed and stunned, and he's going to take 20 points of psychic damage, as he's just being hampered with this damage. I think what's going to happen now. Now that he is sort of less of a threat, I think she's going to turn around. We got to deal with all you people. You got to be done with all of you. You're already on the ground. She doesn't care about you as much. We want that commandant. That silly commandant. We're not really going to get you, Chaplain. You haven't been much of a problem. As of yet. But we know who has been. Yeah, we're going to throw a fireball right there. Danger close fire. I need a dex save from Varsh, Etherith, and Dionysos. The gift fails.
Varsh fails. Let me just do Etherith. Well, it's just a straight. Etherith also fails.
Alright, that's 28 points of fire damage to all involved.
Okay, is there any point in me using my reaction here, or am I just going to go down either way? How much did you say it was?
28.
28. Either way, okay. Varsh is on death saves.
Alright, Varsh, you fall to the ground, unconscious. The Commandant fire pervades. He hits the ground hard.
Etherith lives. Just.
Etherith lives just. So that's what she does. She is going to take the opportunity to back away from the dragon. Dragon gets an opportunity to attack.
1 second. I shall make that attack now. 11.
11.
Is it with advantage?
Not at the point when she's leaving the range, because
Got it.
was a flank and then she moves over, and there's no flank and then she moves.
Just checking. That's fine then.
Yep, perfectly fair check. She moves over. This Mind Flare, I think, moves over to here to where, frankly, the only person getting resistance left now, well, other than Etherith, is Bisan. He's going to move over, and the larger Mind Flayer is just going to point with a long finger. And he's going to move over to you, Bisan. And in a... I think he's going to just... He's going to make the flank happen. He's going to have this one get out of the way. And then put himself in the flank. As I believe he's got the speed for that. Yeah, he's certainly got the speed for that. And he's going to try and wrap his tentacles around your head. Ooh, probably no dice. That's going to be 19 to hit. What's up? Muted.
19 gets it.
19 gets it. In this moment, tentacles wrap around your head. You feel stunned. I think with the defeat of Bisan, we are going to go to a narrative here, especially considering what time it is. So Ed, you're on the ground. Zalace, you're on the ground. The Commandant's on the ground. Valarsh is on the ground. The only person still standing, I believe, is Chaplain. You're standing, Bisan, but you are stunned until let go. And there's no one nearby who's going to let you go in this moment. So, Chaplain, so you're there in this moment, and you're going to look up to the top deck where it's essentially going to go to, like, fucking Ben Kenobi versus Darth Vader. And you see, as he comes out of the stun, the captain is just mace versus purple laser sword, sort of battling on the top deck there. I think this Mind Flare will move over to here. We'll say that you're able to get a heal in if you want to, or you get a turn. All you have what would you do with your turn?
Did you see the private message I sent you?
I will see it now. You just do. You just call them. You just do. There's no action required.
Oh, nice. Okay. So then I will first use an action to use my healing kit on Zalace to stand him up.
Okay.
Then I will run forward until I'm 50 feet or 60 feet from Ed and use my bonus action healing word to stand him up.
To Ed? Ed's on the top deck.
Yeah, I don't need to be right with it's distance of 60 feet, I think.
But you do need to be able to see him.
Oh, I can't get to a place where I can see him.
No, he's on the top deck and he's laying on the ground, so he's a little
fair
far away.
enough.
You can hit Varsh though if you want.
Yeah, let's hit Varsh.
Okay.
And then Chaplain will do the pose that he's currently doing.
Okay.
Spread his arms, look up to the heavens in full Scott Stapp, and call on assistance from Garl Glittergold.
All right.
Divine favor.
Calling in his divine favor. What do you ask for? What is the divine favor that you seek?
Rid this ship of these intruders.
Okay. It's a big ask. We'll let me go look at the book. Or
take us to, get us to safety.
Get us to safety.
I didn't want to leave the ship, but if that's what we got to do to make this happen, then I'm comfortable with it.
You say get us to safety, yes?
Sure.
Well, to be clear, this isn't as powerful as a divine intervention like a cleric can do at level 10.
Okay, all right.
Isn't quite that.
So take the I guess let's see. Get the crew of the New Dawn to safety.
Got it. A favor could also take the form of a deity's intervention, such as an omen, a vision, or a minor miracle provided at a key moment. So a minor miracle is what you're asking for, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm essentially asking for, I mean, I guess in this case, if we're shooting for minor miracle and being reasonable, maybe something like a, teleportation or a
Yeah, yeah.
dimension shift, whatever.
So in this moment, um, minor miracle, you say like, get us to safety. Here's what I'm gonna say. You sort of ask for this, and you see this mind flayer come to the edge of the deck with Bisan in his tentacles, and you hear telepathically in your mind, submit, small one, or this one will be my meal. And in that moment, you see some of the astral winds from the flow nearby sort of permeate around and hit the side of the ship. And you and Zalace will be, or actually, you would have moved over. Where would you have ended your turn? Where would you have ended your turn, Javelin?
I guess, well, it would have been near Varsh because, well, no, I guess right where I am would have been fine.
Okay. In that moment, the astral winds, as if a minor miracle, the god sends these astral winds to billow into the side of the ship, and you, Chaplain, as well as Zalace's now patched up but 0 hit point body, are thrown from the side of the ship and just spiral up. You're not going a million miles an hour or anything like that, but you are certainly thrown away with such speed that you and Zalace are saved in that moment.
Okay.
You guys, so for the rest of you, Varsh, you sort of get back up on the deck. Ethereth is growling and fighting, but you see he's sort of cornered as these mind flares sort of move on him, pervade upon him. Bisan is caught in the tentacle trap. The same sort of benediction is put to you. It says, surrender or I will eat her brain from her skull. I guess that's a question, Varsh, more than anything. Would you persist?
This is like a loose reliving of Varsh's original nightmare. So, I call Ethereth back to me.
Okay.
And I don't abandon ship, but I do sort of raise my sword and sheath it.
Drop.
Let her go.
Okay, and so we've dealt with that. Ed's down. Ed, I want you to as they're fighting, they say we do not need his. They might. He says they will say sort of to themselves. This is sort of maybe in your half stasis. You're able to hear them kind of deep speech. It says we don't need his mind. We only need his body. Let him expire. And then the main one who's like fighting the captain says, no, risk nothing. And continues to fight the captain. And he sort of gets like a moment in on the captain. He says, surrender or the rest of your crew dies. And he sort of he slams his mace into the ground and leaves it there. And in sort of an anger, he puts his hands up, and the creature sort of smiles at him, cuts his head off. And the head of Captain Lunarbow rolls across the deck of the ship. These mind flayer truly have no honor. Bisan is, you're still held there. They do healer's kit you, Ed. Varsh, you are sort of brought to heal under blade, essentially. And the larger one says, we have but now to interpret the key. Return to the ship with my prizes. We return to cluster space to inform the brain. With that, you've all been taken prisoner. You will be brought aboard the Lunarbow. But luckily, there's a trickster or two about who might just tip the balance in the next session. But in this moment, You are captured, and all that is left of New Dawn.
Perfect time for my food to get here, but holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I've been. I'll say one more thing, so that you alone will notice, Marsh. Before we wrap up, you would see Lorati in her new sort of half orcish form, half scroll form, will walk over to the body of Yersinia and sort of go through her pockets and pull out this strange scroll. It's almost artificiary in ways, but there is very complex script along it, and she sort of fits it into her coat, and then returns to the top deck and hands it to the prominent mind flayer there, and says, "You now have all you need. I expect you to hold your end of the bargain. This is, of course, return to the Nightlord. You will have honors for your spycraft." And that is where we will end the session.